Good morning, educator. I'm so excited today. Yeah, it's the day two of the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. Who is here? I can see we have three people who have joined. We have people joining already. I am live. Let me just tell people on the WhatsApp group that we are live now. Okay, so that people can join us. We have to kickstart this as soon as we can. We have to start. Uh, we're not going to be much of wasting time. We're just going to commence immediately. Thank you so much for joining me. If you can hear me, please let me know you can hear me. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Please let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me, please. If you can hear me, please just drop a comment. Let me know you can hear me. Let me know you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Please let me know you can all hear me clearly. Okay. Uh, yeah, let me know you can hear me. Okay, I can see comments. And guess what? It's my birthday today. I'm super excited. Today's my birthday, and I'm really glad to be doing this. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I'm really glad to be doing this. Uh, Especially on my birthday. It's really a great day for me, and I'm glad that we can hear. I'm glad that thank you. I'm glad that you can hear me clearly. Thank you. I'm glad that you can hear me clearly. Thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you so much. You can see people are joining. Please, if you are on the WhatsApp group, comment on the WhatsApp group that we are live. We don't know that we are not live now, so that they can join us. Let them know we are live now, so that they can join us. We are starting, we're going to be starting immediately. We don't really have much of a time, not much time because of other schedule, other schedule. So we need to get started. We need to get going immediately. And guess what? I'll be taking the first session today. I'm taking the first session today. I'm super excited. I'm delighted. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. I just want us to have more people join us so that we can get started immediately. Good morning. You're all welcome. You're all welcome to the day two of the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. I hope you enjoy yesterday's session. How was yesterday's session for you? How was yesterday's session for you? Do you even value? Is it worth your time? What stood out for you? And let me know where are you joining me from today. Where are you joining us from this morning? I'm joining from Ijebu Day in the States here. What about you? I would love to know where you are joining from. Okay, where are you joining from? And good morning once again. My name is Abdulatif Abdeleji, the Flip Classroom expert. I'm super excited to welcome you all to the day two of the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. I have the privilege of being the convener of this bootcamp, and then one of the reasons of organizing this bootcamp is actually organized in celebration of my 25th birthday, which is actually today. So I'm glad that we are able to do this. I'm glad that this is a reality because it takes a lot. Trust me, it takes a lot to put this together, and I'm glad that we are able to have this. And from the feedback from yesterday, I'm glad that this is really making the impact it's supposed to make. So again, once again, thank you so much for being part of this. And we're just going to be getting started right into it. Get started. Get started right into it. Are you ready? Let me know if you're ready. So I'm going to be having my session first. I'm going to the comment first, and you know what I'm going to be speaking on. As a flip classroom expert, I'm going to be talking about the flip classroom. So let me just put that there so you can see what my session is going to be on. So welcome to day two of the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. Yeah, yes, thank you. That's anyway. I'm glad. Okay, I can see Mr. Latin is joining from Alimosho. Miss Nathaniel is joining from Akwa Ibom. Okay, that's great. Good to have you all here. Good, good, good. Great to have you all here. Great to have you all here. Wow, that's so okay. All right, so I'm just going to get right into it now, and I'm going to start by reading my profile because it's very, very important that I did it, and then I'm just going to make it as soon as possible so that we can get going immediately. Our second speaker is ready for us, and uh, he has a very tight schedule, so he's not going to be able to stay for long. So we have to make this as snappy as possible. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to get right into it. So meet Abdulatif Adedeji. So Abdulatif Adedeji is also known as a progressive educator. He's a flipped classroom expert, an author, an outstanding speaker, and a business of teaching strategist. He's passionate about empowering school owners and teachers with the right mindset, skill sets, and tool sets to take advantage of available technologies to empower their learners, advance their teaching career, stay relevant, and make more profit in the education industry. As a flipped classroom expert, he trains schools and their teachers how to effectively implement the flipped classroom methodology to enhance teaching delivery of the teachers and learning experience of the learners to make learning more engaging and adequately prepare them for the 21st century workplace. So far, he has trained over 1,000 teachers, both online and on-site, from schools across Nigeria, Ghana, and USA on how the flip class methodology works, its benefits, and how it can be effectively implemented. He has also been invited by over 13 schools in various states in Nigeria, which include Ogun State, Rivers State, Delta State, Oyo State, and Lagos State, to train their teachers on how to effectively implement the flipped classroom methodology in their school. He has been interviewed twice on Capital TV's Big Break African show and uh, Village Square Africa show on New Central TV. So that's just, I'm just going to stop there. It's very long, but I'm going to stop there. So I'm so excited and great. I'm so super delighted to be here. Again, are you happy? Are you not going to welcome me? Yes, I'm a speaker too. Welcome me, and I really appreciate you can wish me happy birthday. Yeah, today's my birthday, and I'm so glad to be here. Okay, thank you so much. I can see after here. Thank you so much, Sadifula. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so we're just going to get right into it. So my topic for today, wow. So my topic for today is flip classroom. So, uh, so my topic for today is flip classroom model, maximizing classroom time for active learning. Flip classroom model, maximizing classroom time for active learning. Please give me a second. Okay, so flip classroom model, maximizing classroom time for active learning. So before I get started, I just want to ask, have you heard about the flip classroom before? Yes, have you heard about the flip classroom before? Have you heard about the flip classroom before? Let me know if you have heard about the flip classroom before. I'm going to make this to be very short and concise, to be very quick. But then but I want to know, have you heard of the flip classroom before? Yes, yes. Is anybody saying anything? All right, so because of our time, just going to go right into it. I have less than 15 minutes right now out of my 30 minutes because for some reason we started a bit late this morning, and then the second speaker is going to come up by 9:30. All right, so let me just give you a bit background of what the flipped classroom is, and then we can always learn more about the flipped classroom. And to be frank, to be honest, I have a lot of materials on flipped classroom, but today I'm just going to go deeper into uh using the flip classroom itself. I'm glad that you have. As you're telling me, I'm glad from one of your training. Great, great. I'm glad you can. You have heard about the flip classroom. So now, what is the flip? I'll just give a bit background of what the flip classroom is about, and then how to use it. Then move right into the subtopic of today, which is maximizing classroom time. So to understand the flip classroom, we first need to come to the understanding that there are two learning environments when we deal with teaching and learning. So learning environment are simply the environment where learning takes place. Okay, and there are two. We have the group learning environment and we have the individual learning environment. So in the traditional classroom, what happens is that in the traditional classroom, in the group learning environment, students learn together in the classroom. They learn together, the teacher teach them all together. What in the individual learning environment, students learn on their own, they do assignments, they win on their own. That's what happens in the learning in the traditional classroom. But when it comes to the flipped classroom, and remember when you say something is flipped, it means you turn things upside down. You turn it upside down. That's what flip means. So we flip it upside down, which means what now happened in the individual learning environment we take it to the group learning environment. And what happens in the group learning environment, we take it to the individual learning environment. Okay, so that's how it works. So in the group learning environment, in the flipped classroom, teachers don't teach like the way they do in the group learning, like the way they do in the traditional classroom. What they do is learn and teach together, work together with the students, which is what we're going to talk about today. But then in the individual learning environment, students learn. So in the individual learning environment, in the flipped classroom, students learn, while in the group learning environment, they apply what they have learned with the guidance of the teacher. So in summary, the flipped classroom is a model of teaching or an approach to teaching where students actually get access to learning materials before they get into the class so that classroom time can be maximized for active learning. Okay, do we get that? Please let me know if you're following. Let me know if you can hear me clearly. Let me know if I can go on, please. Can I go on? Are we together, please? Can I go on? All right, so in this case, so we are trying to make use of, so we're trying to take advantage of the fact that there are some things students can learn on their own, and that it's actually easier for students to learn from each other, or sometimes it's easier for them to learn on their own than even to learn in the group. Now, what are the advantages, or what are the things that what really happen in a flipped classroom setting? So let me give you an example. So I'm a mathematics teacher. I teach mathematics, and then so for example, let's say I want to teach my students simultaneous equation. So what I would do first, as using the flipped classroom, is that I'm going to create a material. Okay, now this material, most of the time, it should be in form of video, but it's not limited to that because I've had a lot of people ask me, can I implement a flipped classroom? My students have access to technology. We don't have this, we don't have that. Yes, flipped classroom makes use of technology, but flipped classroom is not the use of it's not technology itself. We are just taking leveraging technology. So in some cases, you may not even have technology. And let me give you a good example of where most of us have probably made use of flip classroom before. Is that have you ever had this experience before where you are having a topic next week and you tell your student this week, okay, our next topic is to study is transportation. Go to your textbook, page 55. Read what transportation is about. Have you ever done that before? So if you have, that's actually where the idea of flip classroom comes in. The only difference there is that we don't complete the cycle. Because after you have given them that material, you have told them what to go and read. When they come back to class, we don't do anything about it again. But in the flip classroom, what we are doing is that okay, we give students access to material to go through. It can be a book to read, it can be a page in their textbook, it can be slides, it can be a picture, it can be a video, it can be an audio. The most important thing is that you are passing across knowledge and you are passing across information. The means is not really the most important, though there is a particular means that is recommended above all other means, which is what making use of video. And the reason for video is that video appeals to both sense of hearing and seeing, and it is it has been proven by research that people generally retain what they can see and what they can hear. So they retain it longer than what they just see alone or what they just hear alone. So that's why video is actually the most recommended learning material. So after they have given, so using back to my example, so if I give my student access to a video on how to solve simultaneous equation using elimination method, and they watch this video at all. So when they come back to class, I am not asking them, I'm not teaching them or going back again. The first thing I will first do is to evaluate their knowledge. So I want to know, okay, now that you have learned, you have watched this video on what simultaneous equation is, teach me what simultaneous equation is. So they first have to demonstrate that knowledge first before anything else. Okay, so it is, so how do I go about this? I come to class the next day and I ask them, okay, how many of you have watched the video? And they tell me I've watched the video. So the next thing I'm going to do for them is I'm just going to give them a question to solve on the board. Now you have watched the video and now have a basic knowledge of what simultaneous equation is. Now let me see you try that knowledge. So I can write it on the board. I can put them into group and say, okay, I'm going to write 5 questions on the board. And I do this a lot. I'm going to write 5 questions on the board and I'm going to ask, oh yeah, everybody, I'm going to put them into 5 groups, or I'm going to just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say I have 6 students in my class. Yes, 60 students in my class. See how this works. And I write 5 simultaneous equation question on the board. So this is going to count each of the 60 students 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means I'm going to have 12 ones, 12 twos, 12 threes, 12 fours, and 12 fives. So I'm going to, so what that means is that everybody that falls under 1 is going to solve question 1. Anybody that falls under 2 is going to solve question 2. Anybody that falls under 3 is going to solve question 3, and so on like that. So everybody must have a question they are solving. And that means, thank you so much. And that means they are not going to be, most of the time, if they're still together, you're not going to be solving the same question. So now my work now as a teacher is now to go around and see what the students are doing, see what they are doing, and make sure that everybody is actually doing what they're supposed to do. So from there, it's easy for me to know the students that have gotten it, that understand how to solve simultaneous equation using elimination method, and those that are yet to understand it. And it's also easier for me to see their mistake because I'm going around, I'm seeing what each person is doing. I'm going to notice when someone uses plus instead of minus, when they eliminate x, when they are trying to do, when they eliminating x and y together instead of eliminating x and x. So I'm going to have time to actually give them individual support. So that's how flip classroom work. So let me know, is this are you getting it? Does it sound interesting to you? Does it sound like something you want to try out? So this is not limited to using video alone, and it's not limited to mathematics alone. It can be a discussion-oriented subject. For example, now, as I use the example of transportation the other time. So let's say I want to get transportation. So I give them a video on transportation or means of transportation. So they have watched the video and they come back to class. The first thing I'm going to ask them is that, okay, who can tell me what they learned about transportation? And you will see everybody is going to raise their hand and everybody is going to talk. And everybody is going to say something about transportation. But guess what? They will not say the same thing. Okay? They will not what? Say the same thing. It's just like when you're watching, for example, now you're watching me talk. So I'm speaking to everybody right now at the same time. But guess what? I can't be, if I'm to ask you to tell me what I'm saying, you won't tell me the same thing. So the same way, just like when you watch a movie and they ask you to come and relate what you have or narrate what you have watched in the movie, all of you that watch the movie together, even though you watch the same thing, cannot say the same thing. So the students are going to come from different perspectives. What is the advantage of that? The advantage of that is that a particular student that probably understood air means of transportation, but it's very difficult to understand the rail means of transportation. And then we hear another student explain that rail means of transportation, and we now understand it. So you agree with me that there are some things that, in fact, most of the time, students actually learn more from themselves than they learn more. It's easier for students to learn from their peers than to learn from the teacher, because the student are going to explain it in the layman language. They are going to explain it in the simplest way possible that their fellow students are going to understand, even beyond how you can explain it. So that's part of the advantages of using the flex classroom, because now students have opportunity to express themselves. So what are the things that students stand to benefit by when you implement the flipped classroom? Number one is that they get to develop 21st century skill. So there are 24th, 21st century skill that we call the four C's. They have the communication, the collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. So all these four skills are things that your students actually have the chance of developing uh, by implementing the flipped classroom in your class. It makes your class more engaging. It give you that time to it give you more time to support the student individually. So there's just a lot to what the flipped classroom is about. Okay, so now let me quickly run through the things that you need to implement the flipped classroom. Uh, First, to implement the flipped classroom, you need at least four things to implement the flipped classroom, and I'm really trying to run fast because of my time. The first thing is that you need to embrace the idea. And to embrace the idea, you need two things. You need an open mind and understanding of what the flipped classroom is about. An open mind and an understanding of what the flipped classroom is about. And what does that mean? Is that you have to be open. So if you are a fixed-minded person, you are this person that feel like, okay, yeah, this how it has always been done. This is how I know how to do it. So I'm going to stay with this. Then you cannot implement the flipped classroom because most of the things you're going to learn to do when implementing the flipped classroom are things that go against what you already have, what you already know, or not even go against, but that require you to do new things. So that means you have to be open-minded. And then being open-minded is not enough. You have to understand how the flipped classroom works. Very, very important. And then when you understand that, the next thing you need to do is get trained. So understanding how the flipped classroom works is not enough. You need to get trained. There are a lot of things you need to know. As I've explained earlier, that the most recommended learning material to use when implementing the flipped classroom is video. Okay, so that means you need to learn how to create videos, create different types of video. You need to learn how to share the videos, and I'm still going to touch on that very quick. So after you have gained trained, that means you now have all the skills necessary to implement a flipped classroom. Then the next thing you need to do is inform and involve the parents. So this is whether you are doing this in school, you're doing this in your classroom, or you're doing this, you're using it for yourself personally as a teacher, is that your parents have to be involved. And that's one of the things I love about the flipped classroom because it brings the school and the home together. It brings them together because the school alone cannot implement the flipped classroom alone. The parents have to be aware. They have their own part. They have their own role to play. So you have to inform them and also involve them. Then the last step is you have to educate your students. Like human beings generally, we are all resistant to changes. So your students, just like you too, they might be resistant to the change in the first place. So you have to educate them. You have to show them why it's even necessary and why they should what adopt that new way of learning. Yes, because it's a new way for them too. So you have to show them why. You have to educate them. Then, if all this has been settled, so what are the steps you need to follow when implementing the flipped classroom in your class? For let's say for a particular topic, the first thing to do is to plan your lesson. Okay, you have to plan your lesson. What are the things I want to teach in this lesson? What are the things I want my students to gain from this? Okay, then after planning the lesson, you have to know the why. Okay, why am I even teaching this subject already? This subject. So because you need to educate them, they need to know why they are even learning the topic in the first place. And then the other thing is that after doing that, you now need to create or curate content. And what that means is that you have to get content you're going to use that you're going to give to students to watch or learn at home before they come to class. So the content can be in video form, it can be in audio, it can be in form of textbook, it can be in form of picture, it can be in form of slide. But the most important thing is that they have to be some content that you're going to give them that will give them a basic knowledge of what you're going to be teaching in class. Very, very important. And then the other thing, after doing that, is that you now need to share the content with them. Okay, you first need to get the content ready. I have to be intentional, and there are pillars of flipped classroom that I will not be able to talk about today. Okay, so you now need to share the content with them, and this is where technology comes in because most of the time there are maybe of video or audio. You have to share the content using technology, using learning management system, Google Drive, using a lot of other technological tools like that. So you have to do that. And then after sharing, the next thing that you need to do is to evaluate. So while the students are at home, you also need to evaluate. You need to evaluate them. You need to, because the thing is that you don't want to wait for them to come to class before you know whether they understand that uh that topic that you have learned. So that's where using make use of online assessments come in. So you can put online assessments, create 2 to 5 questions that the student can just answer immediately after watching the material, watching the video, or going to the material. That is going to let you know whether they understand it or not. And it's going to help you to actually plan for your lesson, because the next stage is engage. And that is what you do when you later get to class. Because now your students have understanding of what they have a basic understanding of what you're going to be teaching in the next class already. But does that make your work done? No. Now you need to engage, because the aim of the flipped classroom in the first place is to take learning beyond just knowing and understanding, and to take it to a higher level of thinking and higher level of learning that includes applying what they have learning, application of what they are learning, a deeper understanding of what they are learning, and then to also take it up the Bloom taxonomy, the pyramid, that Bloom taxonomy where we leave knowledge, comprehension, and we move to application analysis till we get to uh, evaluation and creation. So that is what are the that these are the things that you have to like put in mind when you are engaging. So you have to curate the experience that okay, when I get to class, my students now know understand the means of transportation. How am I going to do for them? Am I going to put them into groups and ask them to explain each means of transportation, or am I going to ask them to just narrate a story, or are we going to have a debate on which of the transportation is the most effective? So you have to have this plan like that that is going to ensure that okay, now after they have the basic understanding of what the flip of what the topic is about, now they need to know how to apply it. Okay, so this is where I'm going to stop today. Our second speaker is in already, and our time is fast spent. Thank you so much for being part of this. Let me know, do you gain value from this? And if you wish to learn more about the flip class, let me just add this. So as you all know, today is my birthday, and one of the birthday gifts, actually this bootcamp itself is one of the birthday gifts I'm giving to educator. But I'm adding one extra to it, and is that as a flip classroom expert, I actually have a course where I take teachers through A to Z of implementing a flip classroom. So all this I've explained here is just me trying to what's it called? Trying to beat the time. But then in the course, you're going to get access to everything, learn how to create videos, learn how to share videos, and every other thing. Now, on a normal day, the cost is actually 5,000 naira flat. But because today is my birthday, if you like to get the cost, you can get the cost at just 2,500 naira with that 50% discount. Okay, I'm going to send the details on the WhatsApp group. So for anybody that's interested in getting the course, I just want you to know about it here. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you for being here. And our second speaker is here, and I have to run. I have to run. So I'm just going to bring him up immediately so that we can get going. So thank you so much again for being part of my 25th birthday. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I have our speaker. I'm just going to add him to the stage so that we can start. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Mr. Oluwashim. Thank you so much for accepting today. Part of this, I really appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read out his profile very quick so that we can get going. He has a lot of engagement. He's a very, very busy person. In fact, by now you should know him. This is Mr. Oluwaseun Kayode. He's the CEO of School Linker. Anybody know School Linker here? Do you know School Linker? If you know School Linker, let me see your yes, yes, yes. If you know School Linker, let me see your yes. Yes. So he's the CEO and the founder of School Linker, and it's really a lot. I don't really take it for granted. He's been part of. He accept our invitation to be part of this. So I'm just going to read out his profile now. Okay, so Oluwaseo is a key voice in conversations surrounding the improvement of teacher quality in Africa. He currently lives at Schoollinker as a CEO, an edtech company utilizing technology to create a community of high-skilled educators for African schools. Through online
All right, so maybe I should just start. I'll like you all to confirm if you can hear me, and that's because I have limited time to spend with everyone here. It's a pleasure to be here this morning. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm checking the comments as well. So while we wait for him to get back, I think his network cut out, but I really need to know that you can hear me. All right, great. Thank you, Ibikunle Lola. Thank you so much, everyone. And it's such a pleasure to be here. It's such a pleasure to be joining educators this morning. I have a very limited time, just about 23 minutes more for me to spend with everyone. And the topic I'm discussing, of course, is a very interesting topic. Basically, that when we talk about technology and teaching, this is like sort of like the vibe of the day. This is like the talk of the town when it comes to education. I'm just going to do a simple introduction. My name is Oluwaseun Kayode, and I lead the team at Schoolinka. I can see some of our right in on the call already. I can see Kenny Messi, okay. I can see people also like in our community or on the call this morning, so it's so good to be here. I lead a team at Schoolinka. What we do at Schoolinka is that we connect teachers to high quality training opportunities, and then we connect these trained teachers to job opportunities, and we do this using technology, right? So with technology, we're able to scale high quality training. So with our digital platform, teachers are able to access training content and also job opportunities. Welcome, sir. Can you hear me? I just thought to go on when when the internet knocked you off. Um, just wanted to be sure if I can continue, please. Can you hear me? Okay. All right then. So maybe I just continue, right? So I'm just going to run my slides and present my slides, or let me just share my screen really. Um, so I have these slides that I created for this session. Yeah, so just a minute. All right, good. So, oh, I'll need the slides to be added to the screen, and since I'm not the host, I'm not able to do that. Uh, I'm not sure what's happening. So I'm not able to add my slides to the screen. I don't know if anybody can help with that. Add my slides to the screen. I don't know if anybody can help with that. All right, so let me just continue really. All right, so harnessing the potential of edtech, innovative tools for the 21st century classroom. This is such an interesting session, like I said earlier. And what I'm looking that we're able to do, with this session definitely is to explore the future of work that is driven by technology. Is for us to also understand why we should use technology as a learning tool, why we need to explore edtech tools and their use cases, learn about online safety protocols, and of course, increase our adoption of the four C's of 21st century learning, which I think many people here on the call are very familiar with, right? And I just want to share this quote by Queen Rania of Jordan, where she said, in education, technology can be a life changer, right? It can be a game changer for kids who are both in school and are out of school as well. And she went further to say technology can bring textbooks to life. The internet can connect students to their peers in other parts of the world, and it can bridge the quality gaps. And for me, I think this is really, really true. This is really, really correct. That technology really can bridge the gap, and that technology can make education come alive, and that technology increases accessibility, it increases connectivity to learning content, increases student engagement and student motivation in the teaching and learning process, and it helps to democratize learning. Right. Okay. So I think my screen is up now. Let me just go on the slideshow. So it helps to democratize learning, really, and that's what technology does. That's the power of technology. And I think this is like food for thought for us as educators, really, to be able to think through the power of technology. We've always been talking about technology, 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 but like, what's the power of this tool to radically transform teaching and learning in the classrooms and in the school context? And so I think this quote by Queen Rania of Jordan is really powerful, and it's something that we should all reflect on as educators always, right? Because of course, when you look at this code very well, it helps you to think through what you can use technology to do in your classroom. So I have this video that I want to play. I hope the sound definitely comes up online. I'm going to try to play it now. And this video is really about the future of work. And it has a question that says, will our children be prepared rather for the future of work? And so I'm going to play that video, and we're going to reflect after on this video and just share thoughts. I'll be looking out in the YouTube chat or YouTube comments as well for thoughts, really. Let me play this and see. All right, good. I hope we've seen the video, and I mean, I'm sure we have thoughts, right, about the video, right? I'm sure we are, this video is sparking a lot of thoughts, is increasing a lot of curiosity. We are able to see what is possible. And then I have some questions that I'd like to ask, so you can drop in the chat. I'm also monitoring the chat on YouTube to see chats that come up, and then I'm going to shout out those chats, those comments. And the first question is, what did you find interesting in the video? Second is, what is the impact of the rapid pace of change in the technology that is available to modern day students? And then what can we do as educators to upgrade our skills so we remain relevant to our students' experiences, right? And that third question is a very interesting question, because we're talking about what can we do as educators to upgrade our skills, right? Not only because we want to remain relevant, right, in our profession as teachers, but rather because we want to remain relevant to our own students' experiences, right? There's this course I used to facilitate called Teaching Digital Natives, right? And this course really is around how can educators become more relevant to their student experiences. There are two different things. Being relevant as a teacher in the teaching profession is different from being relevant to your student experiences, right? Because your student experiences sometimes are different from your own experiences. You might think that, oh, you're growing as an educator, as an adult, as a professional, but you are not growing in terms of the context that your children or the students that you work with currently operate in. So I'd like you all to answer these questions in the chat box, and I'll shout out any that I can find. I know some people are not currently streaming live on YouTube. They are probably like 10 minutes back or 1 hour back, really. I'm not sure how long the event has been going on. But for those that are live with me right now, please kindly share what are your thoughts on these questions. And as we are sharing, as we are trying to type in the chat box and me reading out, one thing I would like us to see in that video, think about in that video, the video was like, it was talking about how fast things moved. And it made an analogy, right, or an example, right, in the New York Easter parade that happens, in the New York, on the street of New York. In 1900, they had horses on the streets in the parade and just one single car. And then fast forward to 1913 rather, 1913, they had only one horse and then a lot of cars, right? And that's to show us how things can move really fast. And that video also mentioned that was a time when things really moved slow. So you can imagine if things really moved slow at that point in time, and then we can see that rapid advancement in technology. And now compare it to now, when we have, like, a quick evolution, a lot of things are happening at the same time when it comes to technology and teaching and learning. I can't find any comments in the YouTube page, so I'll just move ahead because of time. So there's also these questions that I had. I intended this session to be very, very interactive and conversational. But of course, I think because we're using StreamYard, it's really not easy to do that. So why use technology as a learning tool? I think these are some of the things that we want to also explore. What are possible barriers to integration in your local context? I know some teachers will always mention the fact that, oh, it is not easy to implement technology. Okay, I can see Kemi Messi, okay, post in the YouTube chat saying it's interesting to see how efficient, fast, and effective technology was used to create things. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. So really, there are a lot of barriers I know that educators face in implementing technology in their classrooms and in the teaching and learning experiences. And they range, with issues such as the digital divide, the huge digital divide that we have. So the huge digital divide, in the sense that a lot of people have access to technology and technology-enabled devices, while some people do not have access to it because of socioeconomic factors such as income, access to infrastructure such as electricity, internet availability. There are a lot of issues, in that border. And of course, why I wanted this to be a conversation is because we've also seen educators who, in the midst of these limited resources and limited access, have also still been able to implement technology, even if it is low tech mediums, to actually power learning in their classrooms. And I thought that we might have some of those educators on the call today who would like to share their experience. I have my own personal experience of doing that. I have a video on YouTube that has thousands of views on that. I can share that with you. It's a documentary of how I was able to use technology in Ota community to power learning and connectivity for my classroom when I was back then teaching. I mean, I can share that with you all later on. So in summary, really, technology complements student learning, and it helps you as an educator to improve your personal knowledge and skills, right? So it complements student learning. That's what technology does when it comes to technology and education. And as you can see on this slide, I didn't say that technology replaces teachers, right? And I know this is a big debate that we've all had. Everybody saying, oh, technology will not replace teachers. It will only replace teachers who refuse to use technology. I think that's our most popular answer to that statement, right? Which is, true to a great extent, that technology will replace teachers who do not use technology or who do not learn how to use technology. But I didn't put that here that technology will replace teachers, because I don't think it will replace teachers. I think teachers are very, very important. I think I have a slide that also buttresses that point. Yeah. Teachers are very important in the teaching and learning process. However, technology would enhance teaching abilities. Technology would be like a game changer. It's already a game changer in teaching and learning experience, because it helps to complement learning and it helps educators to improve their own personal knowledge and skills. So I have about 16, edtech tools here that I'd just like to share very quickly, that we can use in our classroom to power teaching and learning. And I just, have these edtech tools and their various use cases. And if you look at on the screen, of course, I know on YouTube, if you're watching on your mobile, the text can be a bit tiny. I'm trying to see what the user experience looks like. Okay, yeah. Well, I think it is fair. All right. So Google Classroom really is an example of an edtech tool, basically, that can be used to create digital classrooms. There are different other tools that can be used to do that, really. But Google Classroom is very popular, easy to use, free to use for educators, that you can use to create, a digital classroom, and it's lightweight, really. So it offers a platform for teachers to create, distribute, and grade assignments digitally. We also have, tools that can be used to create differentiated learning experiences, like your personalized learning, basically. And we have tools like Edmodo that helps teachers, to provide personalized learning, to create individualized learning paths for their students. There's Khan Academy as well that has tons of resources that cater to different learning styles, that cater to different, learning interests and pathways. So that's one. We also have tools that can help to increase student engagement. Sorry, I'm trying to get feedback to make sure that people can see it. All right, good. So we have tools that can help to increase student engagement. For example, Kahoot. I'm sure a lot of us already know what Kahoot is, right? It's a game-based learning platform that helps to make learning fun and interactive through quizzes and challenges. We have Nearpod as well, that engages students with interactive lessons. There are really virtual reality field trips that you can do that, and there are real-time assessments that can be done right on Nearpod. Then, of course, flipped classroom. I know before my session, the host was talking about flipped classrooms, which is an interesting methodology in teaching and learning, especially with the use of technology. And so, ditching textbooks and flipping classrooms is a big thing. I mean, it started in the Western world, a couple of years back, and we've seen educators as well in Sub-Saharan Africa also beginning to adopt this, right? And we have different tools that you can use to do that, and I'm highlighting two of them here. You can explore Edpuzzle, which helps you to create interactive video lessons, making it easier for students to engage with content outside of the class. We also have Flipgrid, really, that enables video discussions, allowing students to respond to prompts and interact with classmates outside of class, right? So these are tools that can be used to do that. Of course, we also have tools that can help you to give students the opportunity, to show mastery. Students, of course, always want to find opportunities to want to show their capabilities, their newfound skills, what they've learned, the new knowledge they've acquired. And so we have tools like Seesaw and Adobe Spark that can help you do that, right? With these, students are enabled to create. They can be very creative. They can use multimedia presentations, videos, whatever it is, to create solutions to demonstrate their knowledge. And these are tools that you can start beginning to explore. Of course, there are technology tools that are used to teach 21st century skills like Scratch, the coding platform where children are able to learn coding and all of these things. Canva as well, right, is a very powerful tool. Interestingly, Canva can be used to create websites as well. I used Canva to create a website last year, and I'm like, amazing, this is beautiful. That tool is super powerful, and you can use it, for your students to learn how to, acquire 21st century skills. And we'll talk about 21st century skills as well. AR and VR. AR, that's augmented reality, VR, virtual reality as well. And you can use Google Expeditions and MarchCube to be able to implement all this, technology in your classroom, right? We have tools that can be used to teach students digital citizenship skills like common sense education. Digital passports by common sense education offers that, that you can make use of their resources. They have a lot of free resources that you can make use to teach your students digital citizenship. And you know what digital citizenship really is all about. Global, the world is a global village, and everybody needs to learn how to explore the digital, community, and of course how they can stay safe on the digital community. And this is what common sense education will offer. Promote social sharing of the work that students create. Like Padlets can be used to create that. You can use Padlets to share knowledge, where students can come together and share what they've learned. They can create boards, put their thoughts on the board, do a mind map, like a whole lot of things you can do on Padlet and Seesaw. Of course, tools that can help you develop collaboration skills: Google Workspace for education, Microsoft Teams. The one that can help students develop metacognition skills, such as Flipgrid that I mentioned before. Quizlet as well, is a quizzing tool, quizzing platform where you can use to set quizzes for your students. Family engagement is also important in teaching and learning, and that's why Remind and Class Dojo are examples of tools that can be used to facilitate family engagement, where parents can be more involved in the teaching and learning experience. Then to improve teacher practice, because as a teacher you should not be left behind. Edpuzzle is a very powerful tool that can help you to create video lessons, to track student progress and be able to know where they are lagging behind so you can improve instruction. And then I'm happy to also present Schoolinka to you. Schoolinka is an edtech platform as well, where you can use it for your own professional growth. There, we have a lot of courses on our platform that you can explore. Take these courses, acquire the skills, and right now they're absolutely free. So you can visit schoolinka.com to be able to access these courses, right? And of course, even apply to job opportunities as well. So this is like an edtech tool for you, especially as a teacher. Um, all right, so okay, yes. So all of these tools really, they tend towards helping the student acquire 21st century skills, right? Which are the four C's? That is collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and problem solving, and creativity and innovation. If you look at all the tools that I've mentioned earlier, from the 1 to the 16 categories, of which I have more than 30 tools in total here that you can make use of, right? All of them tend towards helping your student acquire collaboration skills, communication skills, critical thinking, and problem solving, creativity and innovation. I wish we had more time for this session. We would have gone into some of these tools and I show you how it works. But of course, we don't have enough time, and I need to even drop off in 1 minute. But I'm hoping that you're able to get value from what I'm sharing already. And I have this powerful quote here. You remember I told you that the teacher is important, and this is Bill Gates mentioning here. Bill Gates is one of the, definitely the big personalities when it comes to technology development and advancement. And he said technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is most important, right? Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is most important. And I think that's really powerful, right? So that's where we know that, the teacher is really important in the teaching and learning process. This is Bill Gates, someone who is a big proponent of artificial intelligence and has funded OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT. Like he's funded them, like he has majority stake in that company. And this is him saying this. So that's to tell you that as educators, technology can't take your job, right? Technology can only enhance it and make you become a better professional. So what is your digital footprint? And I think this is really around safety online, how you can stay safe online, protecting yourself. And this important question: when last did you update your passwords? Right. This is very important for you to think through, because safety is very key as far as navigating digital space is, right? And online safety for students, these are a couple of points that I listed out here. You need to create a safe online learning space that is free of cyberbullying, free of fraud, free of children being exposed to illicit content and all of these things, right? So as an educator, whatever platform you choose to use, you need to prioritize creating your online learning space to be safe, where children don't feel endangered or feel worse off by joining your online digital space. They should feel empowered instead. You need to give students access to safe content, guide them to safe content, right? teach students on how to avoid scams, right? How can they avoid scams? Where should they know not to submit their PII? PII is personal identifiable information like their name, their address, their phone numbers. Tell them that these things should not be shared publicly on digital spaces without guidance. Keep students safe from predators. There are cases of children being lured into endangered places and endangered situations through Facebook chats by adults who are chatting with them. So, and empower parents and guidance. So that means you're not only doing this with the student, you're also empowering their parents and their guidance to be able to help them navigate the cyberspace safely. So this is where I'm going to draw the curtain on my presentation. I wish I had more time, really. I mean, this session really that I prepared here is something that I can implement, or let me say facilitate for 1 hour 30 minutes. But I mean, I have just 30 minutes and even lesser than 30 minutes with internet issues and all to do this. And I hope you got value from this session. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope this is very effective enough for you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share with everyone. Just like I said, we have free courses for you at Schooling. If you want to learn more about all these things I've shared, these tools I've shared, then you should be part of the Schoolinker community. Just visit schoolinker.com, and then you'll be able to learn more about all of these tools. But thank you so much for having me here.
Hello, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for finding the time to be part of this session. Thank you so much for sharing amazing word of value. I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much, and really thank you. So please, everybody, check out Schoolinka. The website is schoolinka.com. Straight out there. No worries, not sure. Yes, please check out Schoolinka via schoolinka.com. That's a platform you don't want to miss. Go there, the free courses there, and there are a lot of opportunity for you as an educator to develop yourself. And please, Mr. Oluwashenka on LinkedIn and on Facebook. Share on LinkedIn. He shared a lot, and they did a great work in Schoolinka. Thank you so much, sir, for being part of this. I hope you have all learned. Please, let's appreciate our speaker. Let's appreciate him. Let's appreciate him. I can see people here chatting here as we get ready to get ready for our next speaker. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this, sir. I don't take it for granted. Thank you, sir, and I'll see you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it, sir. Let's keep appreciating our speaker. Let's keep appreciating our speaker. So we're going to be moving on to the third session now. Okay? Yes, I can see people. I can see. Yeah. Thank you. Well done. Thank you so much. I can say that we are really grateful to have you, sir. Thank you so much. All right, sir. So we're just going to move on to the next section now. So the next session is going to be on give me a sec. Oh, I forgot something. It's not here. So the next section is going to be on cultivating a culture of respect. Cultivating a culture of respect, strategies for effective classroom management and conflict resolution. So our speaker is ready for us, and I'm going to be bringing it up immediately so that we can get started. I'm going to read out his profile for you now so that we can know the person we're going to be having on board is a 360-degree educator. You know what 360-degree means? Come on, let me show you. Yeah. You know what 360-degree means? 360-degree means all all one. Can you see my hand? Yes. All one. So it's not just one educator that is this place but it's not here. So he has everything complete. Okay. So now for me educator is the director of G Signet Consult and Edu Consult that coordinates trainings for teachers, policy assurance, and recruitment for schools. He's the founder of the 360-degree Educators Community, an online community for educators with the aim to synergize, for effective and excellent educational delivery. He has trained over 1,000 teachers, and recently he was invited to do a training for NAPS in one of the eastern states in Nigeria. So please let's make welcome Mr. Sam Godwin.
Well, thank you very
Let's
much,
make
Abdul.
welcome Mr. Sam Godwin. So you can go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Abdul Latif. This is, I want to say a big thank you to you for an opportunity to be here. I know a lot of hitches are actually, but I'm very happy to be. You can hear me, please. Am I loud enough? Please, I want to know if I'm loud enough. Okay. All right. Please, Abdul, am I loud enough? Just continue. All right. So this session it's all right. So for this section, we're going to be having thank you for the compliments. Is actually going. We're talking about cultivating a culture of respect. Okay, a strategy for effective classroom management and conflict resolutions. Okay, so what we're looking at here is very, very important, very key. You know, with every content that you've prepared as a teacher or as an educator, one thing that's important is the classroom, the environment. Does it actually support your delivery? And then if you're not able to manage your environment or the room at which you want to deliver your content, then it's going to be a challenge. It will be difficult for you to deliver that content. So you now see the essence of classroom management. And my name is Sam Godwin, and I'm the lead consultant for G-Signet Consult. It's actually been a passion for us to ensure that we see how to boost the standard of teachers, you know, in a society where it's like we are being relegated. And one way we are doing this is to see how to empower them in all round skills, right? So you're not just a classroom freak, okay? You have the ability to teach in class. While teaching in class, you should have other soft skills that you can do to actually earn more money. So you're not a teacher that is distressed or frustrated or teaching out of anger. You're good. You're a rich, wealthy teacher. You're a 360-degree teacher. So you're a teacher without out of seasons. Whether in school, out of school, you're good to go. And this has actually been a passion for me for years. And we're actually running with that, you know, um, in the Southeast. All right, so very quickly to back to what we have, I want to believe that every teacher has this challenge of trying to manage their class. Yeah, trying to manage their class. And you know, this is common because every class, okay, is peculiar. It will even surprise you that the classes or the schools in the South, you know, the learners behave differently from the schools or from the learners in the Southeast. And you also agree that the learners in the southwest or in the western part of Nigeria behave differently. And so as a teacher, you need to upgrade. You need to know your prowess to manage these people. Now, when it comes to classroom management, you need to understand this, that every teacher is a manager. You can say that again. Every teacher is a manager. You're not just a teacher, you are a manager, meaning you are in charge of your class. And then you'll be wondering, in charge of what? What comes to your mind firstly is the learners. You're in charge of the learners. Of course, you're in charge of the learners, but there is more to that. You're in charge of their personality. As a teacher who is a manager, you're in charge of their personality, the personality of the pupils in your class. You need to study their personality. I mean, I can step that to talking about their likes and dislikes. I can step that talking about their temperament. You need to understand their temperament, who they really are, what their strength, what their weakness. And then this helps you to manage them adequately. The moment you're able to understand their temperament, it also helps you to apply your love languages as well. Because in the bid to manage them, you manage them based on their personality, manage them based on their strengths and weaknesses, you manage them based on their temperament. Okay, so this determines what love language you exude to them. Some of them, what they just want from you is a hug, just to be fine in class, not the stars and the high five, and then probably you're trying to buy a gift for them. For them, what they love is just you did well, kudos, bravo, just words of affirmation, and that's what keeps them. So, yeah, so Olatunde, thank you for that. Every teacher is a manager. So let it stick to your mind. Every teacher is a what manager? So you're in charge. You're in charge. So the way I manage my class might not be the same way you manage your class, because we have peculiar learners. And of course, the environment or situations per time could actually affect or influence the behavior of learners. So you need to understudy them. Probably the first term, or yeah, of course, first term. In the first 1 or 2 weeks, you should have ample time to, right? Because some of them, what you feel should be respect, not what they think is respect. So in the first 1 or 2 weeks of resumption, I mean first term, you're able to study who your learners are, know who their temperament, know who the choleric is, know who the sanguine is, know who the melancholy is. I'm sure you know about temperament. The moment you know this, you know it also determines how you place them in class. I call that class designs. So you structure your class in a way that these learners with different personalities are properly arranged in a way that they are not distracted. Of course, you could put a sanguine very close to a melancholy, because melancholies are like perfectionists, right? They are perfectionists, in fact. So they want to pay attention in class, and then they will not want to be distracted by a sanguine. And a sanguine tries to whisper to them in class, look at this, look at that, trying to distract them. The melancholy pays attention, and if the sanguine observes that the melancholy is always focused, gradually the melancholy's temperament will begin to rub off on the sanguine. Yeah, of course, or the choleric, they are strong-willed. So you identify those who are leaders, you identify those who are perfectionists, identify those who are outgoing, outspoken, extroverts. They always want to make the class fun. Of course, you need to put them in a place where they stay, and then you're in charge of everything. So you're managing the pupils or the students, you're managing their personalities, their temperaments, you're managing the properties in your class. Yes, the table, the chairs, the books, the charts are part of what helps you to manage your class. If these things are not in order, it could also cause disorder among the learners. So take note. So the properties, the pupils, their personalities, all of these help you to be a great classroom manager. Now, don't forget I said that every teacher is a what? Manager. Now we are coming to applying. There are many ways we manage a classroom. Many ways we manage a classroom. It could be through discipline. There are many ways to manage a classroom. But basically, my focus today is going to be cultivating a culture of respect. Or no, cultivating a culture of respect. Now, I'm sure you understand that most of these learners are coming from homes with a lot of emotional trauma. Some of them watch their moms beat their dads. Some of them are being humiliated. Probably they're the last borns at home. And of course, because they're last borns, there could be this influence of timidity, right? They're being intimidated by their elderly siblings, and then they begin to lose their personality. So when you're able to identify these things, you need to boost their ego again. You need to help them to believe in themselves. In the classroom, it's important that every learner gives other learners their opinion. They respect everybody's opinion. Of course, you could have a class where you have learners from different religion. All right, you need to let them know. Now, please, I want to say, if probably you're already in third term, yeah, you can actually correct this in first term, but in this third term, while you resume, you could tell them, see, this term we are beginning with something new, something state these things down, possibly state it down, put it somewhere in the class, and let them know whenever you falter in any of these things, this is the consequence. You don't just tell them things. If you were there, would you have done the same thing? Because sometimes we give them these rules with the intention to manage the class, and yet after the rules, even you as an adult, you can't break time, and they watch you, you're munching biscuits, and they're like, I don't understand. Is it that is it that the teacher has about 5 intestines? How come she's eating and she'll tell us not to eat? Remember, the learners will always do what you do, not what you say. The learners will always do what you do, not what you say. So you are the first model as their manager. As a manager, you are their model. For every role you give to them, they want to see you do it. If you do it, they will do it. And they will do it how you do it. They will not just do it, they will do it how you do it. Note that They will not just do it, they will do it how you do it. So instead of spending time writing a long note, giving a wonderful speech about how you want them to respect themselves or to have that culture of respect, respect has to begin with you. How do you exude this atmosphere or this culture of respect in your class? And I can tell you, if you show me a learner, I can tell you the learner's leader. If you show me a student, I can tell you who the teacher is. Yeah. If you show me a pupil, I can tell you who the teacher is. So teachers are not just managers, they are models. One of the ways we can help to develop this culture of respect, it might be difficult. So what you're trying to do is to imbibe it as a way of life in your class, as a pattern. So that means you have to be consistent in doing this, right? You need to be deliberate about this. It's not something you just say one off. No, you say it and keep saying it. You keep reminding them about this culture of respect. Now, what are the things we do, to foster respect in class? One of them is being kind and courteous. I want you to understand that because they have different temperaments coming from different cultures and different homes, there are kind of lifestyle that parents have taught them. I mean, I've heard a parent tell a child, if somebody hits you, hit the person back. You're not a plant. I mean, you're not a weakling. If somebody punches you, punch the person back. They get this, they get this kind of encouragement from the house, and they bring it to the class from different families. I mean, they've seen their siblings retaliate physically, exchange punches, and then they've seen their siblings stab the other sibling. Maybe they have something and they feel, I'm not going to share it. So one of the things that you do to ensure respect is teaching them to be kind and courteous. Now, they don't need to go ahead begging, right? It's very possible that maybe a learner is using a pen or a pencil, and the pencil goes bad or the pen goes bad. There's nothing wrong if another learner could say, okay, I have a pen here, I could help you with my pen, right? That's wonderful. So they're not seeing themselves as competitors, they are seeing themselves as a team. They believe they're working together to become better. They are not concerned about who comes first. Their concern is we are all best. Let's ensure that we make everybody become best. And you need to keep saying this and let them know that, see, I'm not concerned about who comes first. My concern is that everybody is best. Wow. When you tell them this, it sinks into their mind. They understand that this is the concept. This is what our teacher has in mind. This is our focus. So they're not doing anything to please you, to make you feel happy or whatever. All their concern is, our teacher said she's not after who comes first, but her concern is that everybody is with the best. So they will do all they can to ensure that everybody comes out the best. Yeah? Okay, so one of the things they could do is being kind. Oh, you're not writing. Why? They're concerned. It is not just your job. Of course, as a manager, you can't be everywhere. You can't be on every seat. You can't be with every learner at the same time. And so it's important that as a manager, you would have replicated leaders among the pupils and giving them responsibilities. Yeah. So whatever thing you've asked them to do, there should be learners who are models to these things, right? And then you keep checking on the, hey, it's been dirty. Why is class noisy? Why are they not sitting down? The other learners will look at their fellow learners as models as well before they even come to you. So I have this principle and the boss. Okay, the book, the body. When I mean body, I mean like a pal, like a friend. So these 3 B's: book, body, and boss. So you teach the learners, first of all, to be able to access books, make research on their own. Then if they don't have an idea, they can go to their body, that's their friend. Then if they're not able to get their friend, they not get these things from their friend, they cannot come to the boss. So you're like the third on the chain, right? Before they even get to you, they would have gotten solutions to these things. So now you're teaching them, one, collaboration. Now, another thing is that you teach them to be polite. Teach them to be polite. Now, these things are not things you just say. You give them practical instances of how they could be polite in class. Now, so this culture you're giving them is going to reduce conflict in class. Definitely. Because now they know the right way they should ask for something. I mean, from when they want to use the restroom, they don't just say, I'm going to use the restroom. No. as the boss, as the manager of the class, I'm meant to permit you. So they should seek for permission. Can I use the restroom? The same way they're also going to ask when they need a pencil. Can I use your pencil? Can I have your eraser? Can I use your set? Can I go through your book? You're teaching them to be polite when they're making requests, teaching them to be polite when they want to seek for permission, teaching them to be polite when probably they need help. Because some of them are not taught these things at home. As a teacher, you're 360. I must tell you, because the parents also feel you should teach these things. Some of them don't even have the time anymore. So one of the things again you need to do is you need to ensure that you teach them how to listen to others. They should not always be the one talking. Everyone has something to say, whether right or wrong, and everyone has the right to speech. Okay, so you need to teach them that in class, when anyone stands up to talk, everyone has to keep quiet and listen to that person. Of course, there should be no form of mediocrity where people like or trying to see how to mock anybody or humiliation. No. So let them understand that whenever anybody stands up to talk, that person needs to be given a fair hearing. That person needs to be listened to. Guess what? You're also teaching them listening skill, because some of them don't have this skill. You tell them something, do this as a classwork or class fun, as a homework or home fun. You give them a task to do, and because they didn't listen attentively, they do the wrong thing. They do the wrong thing well. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. They do the wrong thing well, and then they bring it in, and you're like, this is not what I asked you to do. You know why? They lack listening skill. One of the ways to exude respect is listening. Yeah. Just imagine how you feel when you're teaching and all your learners are just looking at you, paying attention without looking left or right, without being distracted. As a teacher, I'm sure you understand that you feel like saying more, you feel like doing more, you feel like teaching more, you feel like you're excited in the inside because they are paying attention. So this thing has to be a culture in class as well. You also need to teach them to listen to people's opinions, because people have different opinions. People believe they should respect people's belief. You should not come to class and start mocking another person's belief. And look at the way you behave. Of course, for example, those of them in the West, they want to greet. They have a way of greeting. That's their culture. It should not be mocked. It should not be relegated to the background. Everyone needs to keep to this. You respect that. You respect that. I know of a child that in one of the schools where I work with, this child literally brings gari and soup to school. I mean, gari and soup. Yeah. And then it will surprise you. Of course, the first time it feels strange. Gari and food and gari and soup. But you know what? Everybody began to adjust. And the teacher had to put the child's ego. This is your food, this is your lunch, and this is what your parents can provide for you. Right? Everybody respects him. I mean, right now, he boldly brings out his eba and soup and downloads it in class. Yeah. And nobody's like, hey, whoa, that kind of stuff. There's nothing like that. Okay, everybody keeps it because they have been taught that culture to respect individual opinions or individual perspective to life. Another thing we need to do is to ensure that we teach them how to think before they speak. One of the ways of them exhibiting that culture of respect is to think before they speak. Guess what? If they have to think before they speak, I'm sure you know that's going to reduce noise in your class. So somehow you're also managing the class that way, because the issue of yes, me, I mean, I don't even allow that in my class. If you must answer a question in my class, you just put up your hand quietly, and then I decide who I want to speak, right? So, but that way, even before they even put up their hands, they would have thought. They would have thought critically before saying anything. So you teach them to think. What is it you want to say? Have you thought out your answer? Don't just get up from your seat. And of course, it has happened. I don't know about you, but I've experienced it where Elena is like, me, I. Okay, John, let me hear you. And John gets up and like, what's your question again? And you're like, I don't understand. Before you actually put up your hand, I believe you would have listened to my question first. Do you understand that? So, and guess what? That has really taken 30 seconds or 60 seconds of your time. So you help them to begin to coordinate. They think before they speak, the language that they use and the tone they use. Because for instance, you want to tell a child, can you keep quiet? And you say, shut up. When you tell a child, shut up, definitely the child will shut up. And not just shut up, the child will shut down because of the tone you used. What you're actually trying to say is to tell the child to keep quiet, right? But because of the tone you used, the child will not just shut up, the child will also shut down. The same thing applies. And somehow, some of them are verbally abused in class. Their classmates say some kind of things. The tone at which the classmates use, give me your pen. And you're like, what? It's my pen. And before you know it, conflict has started. They started hitting themselves, those kind of stuff like that. Just because, and what's the issue? I want pen, I need, definitely you need this thing, but the manner at which you're asking for it, it's wrong. So you need to teach them these things. Okay, some of us missed this when we are growing up, and it's even affecting us now. You walk into an office, or you walk to meet up your boss, the tone at which you're talking, it's appalling. And of course, you could be toned down at your tone. It doesn't matter your intention. Yeah. So of course, before they even come to you that they want to use the right, they would have thought, they want to say something. What do I want to say actually? Is Mr. Godwin going to turn me down? Why is he going to turn me down? It's my reason enough for him to permit me. Do you understand? They'll be thinking about these things. And guess what? You're indirectly raising responsible learners. Another way you can actually cultivate the culture of respect is to ensure that they learn to help. They learn to help. They should learn to help one another, right? I'm sure you can hear me, please. Can you hear me? Are we still together? Okay, so they should learn to help. Now, we're talking about help, not food particularly. Of course, we could discourage that in the learning environment. Parents can actually pick up on that. So not food now. There are other ways they could help. Morally, they could help. They could help to teach their classmates. They could support their classmates writing materials. I mean, they could. They could offer emotional help. They could be motivators to their classmates. There are things they can offer their classmates, right? Some kind of assistance. Teach them to help. They should not just feel, I have it all. It's all mine. You can actually learn to share. And then that's collaboration. That's where collaboration comes in. Okay, you have 40%. I have 60%. We could merge our percentages together to get 100%. Yeah, because remember you told them, I'm not after who comes first. I'm after who is the what? Best. Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? So because you've told them this, it's a plus for you as a teacher as well. Another thing, because my time, I have less than 2 minutes already. Okay, so you also have to, part of the ways is to help them to avoid bullying and discrimination. Bullying and discrimination. I'm sure you know these things are things that causes conflict in the class. He stepped on me. The other person's reaction would have been, oh, I'm sorry. But instead, and so, I stepped on you and so. So, you need to tell them, see, whenever you do such thing, you need to do what? Apologize. Teach them the 5 love languages. Please, excuse me. And what again? Pardon, sorry, thank you. Teach them the 5 love languages. It's not just meant for married couples. They should use it in class. Let them understand that there are points when you need to say sorry, even when you're not guilty. Just quench the fire. You could tell them, give me one fire extinguisher in class, they'll tell you, thank you. Another one, I'm sorry. Another one, pardon me. Another one. So you could tell them, okay, there are things that could cause fire in class. And you'll be like, like what? They could be thinking it's literal fire, right? And then you tell them, okay, these are the things. Learn to say sorry. Learn to say pardon. Sometimes you did not hear well. Pardon. Don't say, you don't act for what you didn't hear. You could say, pardon me. I'm sorry. Please pardon me. Say thank you. You're giving something, someone does something for you. You say thank you. A way of appreciating that person. It makes the person better, right? Okay, so I need to wrap up here because of my time. There are a lot of things I would have said, all right? But now I want to say this before I round up. As a teacher, you have your role to play because you're the manager of this class. Don't forget, like I said earlier, they don't do what you say, they do what you do. You also have your role to play also in respecting them. Respect them based on their age. Respect also their belief system. What their mindset, respect them so that you need to know what they know. You need to know why they know what they know. You need to know why they act the way they do. That way, it's going to help you to balance it because there are some things they're getting from the home front that you're not seeing. Do you understand? Sometimes they misbehave. Call them to your table and find out. Please, there are some things you don't say in the open. There are some things you don't say in the open. You don't say loud their weaknesses to their classmates. Amplify their weaknesses. Emphasize on their weaknesses. You could shut down that child. So even respect his weakness. Yes. Because we're not perfect. We also have weaknesses too. But the moment you're always amplifying their weaknesses, you'll find out that the day you make a mistake in class, my God, it's going to go on CNN. Because you made them feel you can't make mistakes. You're Mr. Perfect, Mr. Right, you're Mr. I know it all, Mr. 360 degree. You get. All right. Thank you very much. I need to wrap up here. I wish I had more time, but thank you very much for listening. I need to wrap up here now. Thank you, Mr. Abdul Khalid, for the opportunity. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
Wow, wow, this is so amazing. Yeah, thank you so much. I hope you can hear me, sir. Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much for
can.
this wonderful session. Please, let's appreciate our speaker. I, I know by now I should. Yes, that's the part of the culture we are trying to. Let me use my camera. The part of culture we are trying to create here too. Part of culture we are trying to create in this particular classroom is that we say thank you. We appreciate our speaker for setting aside their precious time. Like since when Mr. Godwin started this morning for this session. See, one thing I'm very grateful for is that almost all the speaker I have for this session, they have to make a lot of sacrifices to be here. Like if you're part of the experience today, you know the story about what happened yesterday. Our network show us shiggy. Today now, we're
Yeah,
glad everything is going well.
yeah,
But even till today, there are still lots of sacrifices that people have to do for them to be here. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Godwin. Thank
thank
you.
you.
I really appreciate.
Yeah,
I know, this thing is this time now is just 30 minutes. But trust me, and I'm letting you know already. Because this is not just a one-time bootcamp. This is a community. This is a business educators network. So I'm going to be having webinar consistently. So all these fantastic speakers, I'm still going to bring them back. They will have like 1 to 2 hours to deal with all these topics again. But at least for now, let's appreciate them. We're going to be going on to the next speaker now.
happy birthday one more
And next
time.
week,
Happy
we're going to be
birthday.
talking about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, sir. So
Yeah.
we're going to we're moving on to our next speaker now. Thank you so much, Mr. Godwin. I'll just let you go now. Thank you. Okay, I hope you can all hear me. I'm just going to go ahead to read out the profile of our next speaker now. So, thank you so much, Mr. Pikola. You're welcome. And Mr. Pikola is someone like amazing, amazing person. And he's going to be talking about one of my best topic ever. One of my best topic ever. When I started out, one of the things I was so very passionate about and still very passionate about is the growth mindset. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm just going to read out his profile now so that we can uh, know who's going to be speaking to us, and then please kindly do it. All right, good. So I'm just going to read out his profile now. So Mr. Bukola Adekbeno is a passionate educator and a teaching fellow, teaching mathematics at Joda High School Junior in the South Community. And if you don't know, this actually is where I just concluded my teaching practice. Okay, so I'm super excited about it. This is someone I have personal relationship with. This is someone that I so much love. I call him my dream partner, my partner in progress. Yes. So his dedication lies in fostering a love of learning and equipping students with the tools they need to thrive in a dynamic world. With over 5 years of experience, we believe in creating student-centered environments that encourage critical thinking, collaboration, and personalized learning. And it's going to be speaking on teacher, leader, change maker, cultivating a growth mindset for success. So please, part of our culture in this classroom too is that we welcome our speaker. So please, I know we do this a lot. So let's please welcome our speaker. He has been here since like how many? And he's not just here as a speaker, he's here as a supporter, as one of the one of the people behind the scene that support everything I'm doing. Without them, when I look at the idea of this, we did all the planning together, almost everything together. So thank you so much. I really appreciate, and you can go ahead, sir. I'm adding your slides.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and thank you, Mr. Latif, for this opportunity, and thank you all for being here. So I'm here. I'll be taking us on teacher leadership maker, cultivating a good mindset for success. So by the end of this session, which I hope you will enjoy. So we would have understand the meaning of growth mindset, and you as an educator also, you will be inspired to cultivate growth mindset personally and professionally. And also you will be offered practical strategies to foster growth mindset in your students. And also if you have ever felt that okay, maybe you have a particular learner in your class and you felt that okay, this particular one cannot be taught or does not understand lesson as quickly as others, then this session is for you. But before we get started, let us have this icebreaker. The question is, can you think of a time when you faced a challenge or setback? How did you overcome that challenge? In Nigeria now, almost everybody are facing challenges, one or the other. I don't know if you can hear me, please. Hello, hello. Can someone confirm if you can hear me? Okay, sir. Okay, are we moving forward? So for our icebreaker, we'll be having this question. It says that can you think of a time when you faced a particular challenge and how did you overcome it? You know, in this current
Yes,
Nigeria
I can hear
now,
you. Can you hear me, sir?
yes, I can hear you, sir. So in this current Nigeria now, it is very hard to say you don't face any challenge. So can you think of a time in the chat box whereby you faced a challenge and how did you overcome it? So I think we can take 1 or 2 minutes for that. And while we are typing it, then I think for me, the one time I faced a challenge and Mr. Blatty was a clear witness to that was when about 1 month ago when we were planning for our AGM at our school, that is International Day for Mathematics. We were finding it difficult to get funds for it and we couldn't get it on time. But thankfully, with some resilience, we got it. So moving on now, we'll be looking at the meaning of mindset. That is, yeah, mindset, the meaning. So mindset refers to a person's established set of attitude. That is your belief, your assumptions about situations. And looking at this picture now, it is saying that your mindset it is everything. That is, your mindset it defines how you react to things, your attitude, your performance, your actions, how you see results, even how you see challenges, whether do you shy away from challenges or you go right straight to it. And for mindset, we have two type of mindset. We have the growth mindset and we have the fixed mindset. So moving on into growth mindset. Growth mindset is the kind of mindset that you believe that okay, I can always develop, even if I don't get it now, I can get it later. But for fixed mindset, it is the mindset that okay, if I don't get it now, maybe I'm not created to get it, and I cannot get it at all. So a person with growth mindset believe that okay, I can develop. I can always develop. There's always room for development. But a fixed mindset person will say that okay, this particular ability, since I'm not born with it, then it cannot be changed. I cannot improve. So so far I quoted some statements about growth mindset and fixed mindset. So a person with fixed mindset we say with growth mindset we say that okay, I can learn anytime I want to, but a person with fixed mindset will say that okay, I'm either good at it or I'm not. So and you as an educator now, you as an educator, having growth mindset, it affects that is your mindset. It affects how you approach challenges. Whether if you have a high flyer in your class, that is a learner that is performing well, and you have the one that is not really performing well, do you actually go ahead with the one that is doing with the ones that are doing well, and the one that is not getting the gist of the lesson? Do you rather ignore that one, that thinking that this one cannot be improved? So moving forward now, we'll be talking about personal mindsets for educators. That is, how do you foster growth mindset you as an educator? So the first approach to it is reflective practice.
Hello, sir. Can you
How
hear
do
me,
you?
sir?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Okay. Yes, I can. I can. I would just like to suggest that can you put your slide on slideshow so that it can be more clearer.
Okay, sir. How about
Um,
now?
okay, it's not on slideshow yet. Are you on? Are you using? Are you making a PowerPoint to share?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I think there should be a sign on the. Let me check. Okay, there should be a sign, or maybe you should go to slideshow. Yeah, can go to slideshow beside animation at the top.
The thing is, I've done that already, and it is
Okay, and
it
it
is
is still
showing.
showing. Okay, because I'm thinking if we can be able to remove all this sidebar that is showing the other slide, then it might be bolder for things that have more text. All right, no problem, sir. Just go on, sir.
Okay. Maybe I can just zoom it
Go on, sir.
here.
Okay, if you can, yeah, this is actually bold. I mean, I think you are now on the next slide now.
So can I move ahead?
Yes, sure, you can.
Okay. So we have practical, that is you as an educator now. How can you foster good mindset personally? So the first approach to it is reflective practice. That is, you have to practice reflection. And to do this, we have about 5 or 6 ways you can practice reflection, you as an educator now. So the first one is journaling. That is, you keep a record of your daily activities, your experience, your success, your challenges, and the lesson learned. And if you want to do this, I would suggest that you start with something that you did better or something that you did best. Just like maybe if you practice a new thing in your class now, you can start at okay, maybe I manage the class well. Then you can actually give yourself a feedback. That is, this particular strategy now, it is like giving yourself a live feedback. And another one is peer observation and feedback. So this peer observation and feedback is just like when you invite another educator or a colleague to your class, come and observe your lesson, to come and see whether you are doing something right. And if you are the one that is observing a person's lesson, I would advise that if you want to give the feedback, make sure you praise. That is, praise before, look for something that the person did better before you give the negative feedback. Just like when you praise before criticize. And another one is action research. That is, you conduct research on on the challenges that you are facing in your teaching, that is in your class. And another one is critical incident analysis. And we have another one that is collaborative reflection. That is, you can engage in discussion with fellow colleagues, your mentors, and you can share experiences, idea, and gain different perspectives. So another one that is very good, it is the feedback from your learners. So let me warn you for this. When getting feedback from your learners, sometimes they can be blunt. Just be ready to accept whatever they say. And most likely, whatever they say, it is usually the utmost truth. Another approach to it, that is getting practicing growth mindset personally. It is embracing challenges. That is, when you face a challenge, you as a teacher, and I could remember some time ago, like I do take mathematics, but um I any question that involves shapes, I don't like them. So there was a time around Corona period, and I just felt that this thing I have to do it. So you as an educator now embrace challenges, and another one is continuous learning. Having a BSc or NC is not enough as an educator. Attend workshop just like you are doing now, and thank you for your presence. So moving ahead now, we'll be going to we'll be going to having good mindset professionally now. That is, how do you foster growth mindset professionally? So the first step to it is setting smart goals. That is, if you are maybe doing this break now, you might say that, okay, during this 3 weeks break, this is what I want to do. It's my break. I want to learn this. I want to learn that. But your goals must be smart. That is must be specific. Maybe you might want to learn. Maybe if you are the teacher that is not really exposed to computing, you might want to learn computing, and you might say that, okay, or you might want to learn how to use a particular computer software. You might start, okay, by the end of these 2 weeks breaks or 3 weeks break, I want to be able to use computer, maybe Microsoft Office. Don't just say I want to be able to use computer software. It is very broad. We have a lot of computer software like Corridor and the likes. Just say, okay, I want to be able to use Microsoft Office. And if you want to be more specific, you might say that, okay, I want to be able to use Microsoft Word. That is a particular branch of Microsoft Office. And another one is measurable. That is, there must be a way to confirm that, okay, this goal that I've set, how will I know that I can achieve it? That is, maybe the goal was to know how to use Microsoft Word very well. You might say that, okay, maybe when I can type my exam questions well by myself, then I have fully done justice to the goal. And also, you should also check whether the goal is attainable. That is it achievable? And that is, you know yourself, you know what you can do. Ask yourself, can I really do this within this period? If you can, then it is good. And also, ask yourself, is the goal relevant? It means, is it relevant to your personal being? Like you as a teacher now, and it is really weird to say that, okay, this period now I want to go and use it to learn a mechanic trade. Ask yourself, is it relevant to your journey and all of that? And lastly, the goal, is it time bound? That is, when do you want to achieve this by? That is, I said it earlier that within 2 or 3 weeks I should be able to do this. So ask yourself that this goal, is it time bound? And if your goal, if it is taking all of this, that is these five um requirements, then you are good to go. So the next one is seeking feedback. Just like we said earlier, that is, you have to seek feedback for self-improvement. That is, you seek feedback from your students, colleagues, mentor to improve your teaching and class management. And you can reflect on this feedback to identify the areas of growth, and you can take proactive steps to enhance your skills and support your students' learning. So now we've talked about educators. That is, you as an educator, how do you foster good mindset? What about your students? So we'll be talking about how you can foster good mindset for your learners. So the first one is creating a supportive environment. That is, you establish a safe space for your students where they feel that, okay, even if I make a mistake, this person will not go hard on me. There are 3 requirements to learning. So for a child, psychologically, there are three questions that I usually ask. The first question is, am I safe with this teacher? Does this teacher love me, and what can I learn? So if any of these three questions, if the answer is no or it is negative, then it means the environment is not really safe at all. Another one is the power of yet. That is, you keep encouraging your learners that okay, you can always get there. You just have to you just have to put more effort and all of that. And the third one is praising their effort. That is their little win. You have to praise it. And lastly, you as a teacher, you have to model the growth mindset. That is, you cannot be pushing growth mindset to your students now, and you are doing the other way. You are going the other way. So these are some strategies and techniques used by educators to foster growth mindset. So the first one is promoting persistence and effort. And the power of it, we said it earlier, you should set growth-oriented goals with your learners. That is, you help them to set goals. You might be a student that is finding it difficult to understand the basic operation, that is addition, subtraction, and multiplication. You can just invite the students and both of you can set smart goals together. And you provide constructive feedbacks. When giving feedback, you should not just say maybe you got 10 over 10 or very good. Focus on what the learners did good and how you can and you give a constructive feedback. Another one is reflection. As you can always encourage your students by saying that okay, this particular test you did now, we've done the question on the board. Like what do you think that you did differently? What is your error? So when you encourage them to reflect, then definitely they can improve. And you should emphasize on the learning process. And lastly, you create a supportive classroom culture. It means you encourage collaboration in the class. You might just have the learners in groups. That is, you can just have them to sit in the groups of 3 and 4 so that they can work together. And I would advise that when they are sitting in groups, you can group them, that is the high flyers and the average ones and probably the low flyers. You can just have them sit together so that the bright ones can equally ignite the ones that are really not getting the gist of the lesson. So that you as a teacher, it will even reduce your stress and workload, because according to research, students learn better when they learn from their peer. So so far now we've learned how to adopt growth mindset in our class, and we've also explored how you as an educator, how you can nurture resilience in yourself, how you can set personal smart goals and embrace the principles of growth mindset. So we are going to entertain questions now. I don't know if you have any.
This is great. Thank you so much. So please, if you have question, please let's ask our question. We still have like 7 minutes before we have our next speaker. Yes. So just please let me know if you have any question. Do you have any question, please? Any question? If you have any question, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Okola, for this wonderful session on the good mindset. I really appreciate it. It's really so bright and eye-opening for us. Please, let's appreciate our speaker. Let's appreciate our speaker. Uh, before we move on to the last session for today. Move on to the last session for today. Thank you so much. Okay, let me just remove this. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Let's, are we there? I'm not seeing anything from us. Let's appreciate our speaker. And if you have any question, just type it there. Our speaker is still available to take your question. Okay, so thank you so much, sir. So while we are waiting for our next speaker to to come in. Wow, she's here already. While we're waiting for her to get set and to come in, we just uh, so I want to know how has this session been for you? How has this session been for you? Let me know how has this session been for you. Moving on to the last session for today. I'm glad. Glory be to God. We don't really have much of issue, and we are almost. This is the fifth. We're moving on to the last session already by now, and I'm going to be bringing up our speaker now. I'm bringing up our speaker now. So please let me know how has this session been for you? How has the bootcamp been for you? How has the bootcamp been for you? And if you're here, if you're part of my session, I mentioned about my second birthday gift that I'm giving to educators. So if you would like to get access to that, again, in the group, I'm going to send a message as to, with regard to that. But then right now we're going to be moving on to teacher to thought leader. Okay, from teacher to thought leader, building your brand in education. Yeah, this is very important. Building your brand in education. How do you build a brand in education? Uh, is so very, very important. Okay, so I'm going to I'll bring up our speaker now and I'm going to read up a profile. So, Coach Midna, you're welcome. Thank you so much for
Morning.
being part of this morning. I really appreciate it. Please let's welcome our speaker. She's like, how can I put it? Yeah, she's like a mother. She's everything. She's a coach. Like you don't know. Like when we talk about, you know what? I'm going to read out her profile now, so you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So the thing is, I just wanted to know. It takes a lot to bring up all these speakers, and these are not speakers that we are actually like I can't call we are not friends actually. Yes, we are not friends. These are because these are my mom, these are my daddies. But they just feel like, okay, this young guy doing an amazing thing, let's support him, let's be part of what he's doing. So that's why all of them are here. So please I really want you to please appreciate I'm going to read out a profile now. So Coach Medina is originally a dynamic polyglot, holds a BA in French from the prestigious University of Ibadan and furthered her education with a postgraduate diploma in education. A certified life coach from King's Hill School of Discovery, she brings nearly 2 decades of bilingual teaching experience to her roles. As a seasoned educator and personal development coach, specializing in supporting fellow educators, Medina is the proud founder of Easy Language and Teachers Reform Academy. Her dedication extends beyond borders as she passionately pursues global opportunities and aims to foster teachers' fulfillment. She's the recipient of esteemed awards, including Edu Influencer of the Year, TIBA, and the Edupreneur Award 2021. Bedinot stands out as the first awardee of the prestigious Elizabeth Modupe Adetunji Award. Her influence also extends to the literary world as a published bilingual author and the host of 3 podcasts in both English and French. Can you beat that? Reaching a global audience. Bedinot's expertise shines through as she assists numerous brands in podcast launches and supports individuals in their journey toward book publishing. And notable appearances include interviews on the Woman of Grace show with Paula Chichi, features on Yaba Tech radio stations, Your Show, and coverage in reputable publications such as This Day Life, All About Schools NG, and the Guardian newspapers. Medina Oyedele's impact is not only recognized, but celebrated in the realms of education, personal development, and media. Thank you so much. Please let's welcome our speaker. Remember, let's welcome our speaker.
Thank
She's here
you.
with us, and she's going to be
Good
speaking.
morning.
Good morning, Mike. I can hear you
Good
clearly.
morning. Bonjour. Coucou. I feel like I'm teaching French right
Bonjour.
now. Good
Uh,
morning, everybody. Good morning. And happy birthday, Coach
Thank
Latif.
you.
Many,
Thank
many
you
more
so much.
years. Thank you for your commitment, your dedication. I think for me, is your consistency and your passion to the education industry generally. When I see you show up, I see you with so much passion. Sometimes I try to join in and I'm seeing just one or two. And then you're just talking with so much passion. And I've seen you grow also over the years, and I can just only but celebrate you. This is what we're talking about as teachers. We are redefining the image of what teaching is in Nigeria and of course in Africa at large. So thank you so much for having me. It's a privilege to be here today.
You're
Yeah,
welcome, ma.
my profile. At the point I was wondering that profile. So thank you so much for joining me. If this is the first time you're meeting me, just as you heard from from my profile, that my name is Medina Oyedele, and then this is what I do. Teaching is a passion for me. Teaching is not just about a means of income; it's a passion. And so when I decided to become intentional about my position in the industry online, I became very intentional. And that you have to be. So you have to make up your mind you want to become intentional. Have you ever seen a doctor with 20 years or even 10 years of experience talk down on his experience? No. There's this courage that he have. There is this I am a doctor with 10 years of experience. And so this is the definition of what we're trying to create in the education industry. And so it's a great privilege to be here talking to you about how you can go from a teacher, ordinary teacher, because for you to be in the classroom for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you are not an ordinary teacher. You've definitely amassed a lot of experiences. So I'm going to be talking about how you can move from teacher to a thought leader. All right. So we're looking at it together. So I'm just going to share my slide. Let me know if you can see my slide. If you can see
Okay.
my slide, just help us drop some
Okay. I
uh, emo- emojis. Or,
okay. I can't see it yet. How are you sharing the slide, ma?
Okay, so I'm sharing it through my system right now. So I'm call me. So
Okay.
just a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so it's processing. So while we are at it, I mean, as a teacher, one thing you have to tell yourself is that you are not just a teacher. You are not just one of those teachers out there. You are a leader. You are making impact. You are here for a reason. I personally am not one of those numbers of teachers. I am here. And when I'm here, I'm here. And so if you Google my name right now, what you see is what you get. And like I was telling one of my coaches this morning, I didn't buy any of those things you see about me online. You can Google it right now, Medina to daily. And so I didn't come to this point suddenly. I didn't come to this point by hazard. I didn't come to this point just by a mistake or by a mere wish. This was an intentional thing. So I'm going to tell you a brief story how I came about being an online, I mean, like leveraging the online space. When I was in University of Ibadan, I was an AOP for as long as I can remember. I think 3, 4 years. I was in the radio station working as an AOP, and then of course I was a French student president. I was a chairperson in the children section of United Nations Student Association. I was a leader in my fellowship. I was almost everywhere, but I didn't leverage online space. I didn't leverage online space, but I make sure that the school went through me and I went through the school. So when 2020 happened, like I like to joke with my coaches that I'm a COVID-19 coach. When 2020 happened and they closed, schools actually closed down, I asked myself if eventually this lockdown lasts more than we expected, will I be able to sustain this standard of living that I've built over the years? I mean, and I needed something because we're not going to school. Then all I had was just school. So if a school does not pay me, I don't have salary. Because I'm a freelancer, I work with different schools. Okay, so I have that advantage of working with different schools, so salary coming in from different places. But even at that, when there was a lockdown, all schools were closed. So I needed to find a solution and find it fast. I needed to make sure that from wherever I am in any part of the world, I'm able to actually still do what I love to do, and then of course still earn money. And that is when I asked myself one single question: what is that thing that I've always had that I've carried along with me all these years? So you have to come to that point as a teacher where you ask yourself, what is it about me? What stands me out as a person? What is it that if I'm not here, these people will miss me? You have to come to that point of realization of what I call self-discovery. And then I asked myself, so what is that one thing? At least let me find that one thing that I've always had with me all these years. And the answer was just straightforward: French and teaching. French and teaching. I've always had French and teaching with me all the years. When I was in Gabon, when I was in Togo, when I came back, everywhere, I discovered I've always had French. And so I have to pen it down. So from my house, what can I use? What medium can I use since I can't actually go to the school? So what medium can I use to still pass this thing across? And over time, maybe somebody somewhere will just say, come and teach my child online. And then that was how I became intentional. I went back to my Facebook page, I cleaned it up, I revamped it. If you like, I have a tutorial on that, how to revamp your Facebook page. For me, I'm in all social media platform. I'm across all social media platform. But if you are looking for me, like if there is a platform where you know that even if you chat me up on another platform and I don't respond on time, come to Facebook. Facebook had helped me to build and to become. So becoming intentional about what skill I have that I've always had with me, and what platform can I leverage? Can I mix this together? And then I will have the result that I desire, is what brought me to this point. And so when you're seeing Medina Toyedele as the first recipient of Elizabeth Modupe Adetunji's award, and then when you're seeing her on Google and you're wondering, is this the same person we are talking about? I mean, this is me. But what made the difference is about me looking inward and then leveraging what you would call the universe has provided for me, which is, I mean, it's an amazing thing to be alive in 21st century. So most time as teachers, we tend to look outward. And as a life coach, when I coach, I discovered that most time we need to look inward. Most time we want to look forward. I discovered that for us to actually make a massive progress, sometimes we need to look backward and look at those things, look at where you're coming from, look at your experiences, look at your knowledge, look at your background, look at your childhood, look at the skills that you have acquired over the years. And so these are the things that I put together, and then I have what you can see today. So none of us here on this platform is a sudden success, and you are not here by mistake. Let me just drop that. I don't care how you came to be, child, the rape, whatever. You are here for a purpose, and you are in that class for a purpose, and you are in the education industry for a purpose. I want my name to be mentioned in the industry. In fact, another question that I asked myself during that self-discovery was that, in the next 5 years, what industry do I want my name to be mentioned in? Some of us need to do that. Maybe some of us are just doing teaching because there is no, jobs and stuff. But if you're a core teacher, you have to come to that point where you know that in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, even till this very moment, I'm telling myself, in the next 20 years, I want my name to be on top of, like, if you're mentioning foremost African educators, you mention my name. If you're mentioning educators in the world, there's no way somebody somewhere will not say, oh, Medina Toyedele, I know her. So you have to ask yourself that question. Where do you want to be mentioned in the next 5-10 years to come? All right. So this will take me to our topic today. My slide is ready. So we have, from a teacher to a thought leader, building your brand in education. I mean, from a teacher, when I hear teachers say I'm just an ordinary teacher, I'm like, you're not just an ordinary teacher. I just came off a call this morning from a teacher, a very, big teacher in our school. She's in the administrative aspect of our school, and then she's trying to find a bearing because there is always more to us. Most of us fail to understand that we are multifaceted, and because we are multifaceted, you can't afford to stay in the classroom alone. Your impact is limited if you decide to stay in the classroom alone. You can't reach more than the number of pupils or students that you have access to. So you have to come out. You have to come out. You have to leverage the blessing that this century has provided for us. Coach Latif is doing amazing work. I mean, when I see him work his way around the flip classroom thing, I'm like, I still need to go into this. But I need to clear my table for that. But what I'm saying is, the new media and your knowledge, your years of experience, you didn't come across this industry by mistake. As an educator, your unique expertise and passion for teaching can be leveraged to build a very powerful brand. I dare you to look for my name right now on Google. Like, just Google Medina Oyedele and tell me what you see. If you love it, if you will hire me, if I call my service for you at 300,000, will you pay? If I call it at 100,000, will you pay? That is what it is. And so as teacher, we need to, first of all, move from here, mindset that I am not just an ordinary teacher. You can never hear a doctor call themselves an ordinary teacher. I am just an ordinary engineer. No, you see the charisma and the courage and the swag and the pride and the voice. Because those years of experiences should not go to waste. You did not pick them on the street. You learn them by mistake. You learn them by expertise. You learn them by training. You learn them by burning midnight candles. Before I even finished university, in fact, till this very moment, I've never applied for any job. I've worked with Colorado Paint, I've worked with Airtel, I've worked with Open Heavens, I've worked with Bula Paint company. I've worked with quite a number of, I worked with ECOWAS recently. I've never applied for any of these jobs. Never, never, never. I've never. There is no job I can actually point to that I actually applied to. And the simple answer is there, is referral. And then you build yourself to the point where you become so valuable that everybody wants you on their team. I was just telling the person I was talking with this morning that she's trying to sign up for my one-on-one coaching, and I was telling her that, hey, when people address me in their school as their French teacher, they don't say the French teacher, they say Medina Oyedele is our French teacher. Medina Oyedele is our French teacher. I mean, it carries weight. It carries weight. You have to be intentional about it to that point. I as a teacher, even before, right now, I'm doing like 20 to 15% with schools regularly. I'm not doing fully again because of a lot of commitment online and stuff. And of course, I want to focus on my brand. See, before I even drop all of those schools, I was never at the mercy of any teacher or any school owner. Never, never. Even when they do evaluations and then they downsize some teachers, some part-time teachers, I'm never part of those subject teachers. Never. Because one, not only do I know what I'm doing, I actually have a mastery of the subject I'm teaching. I've built my brand. I've added so much value to myself every year. Intentionally, I'll pay a coach one-on-one. So before a year comes in, I'll begin to look at which coach can actually help me work on this aspect of my brand, and then I'll save up. If I need to save up, I'll save up. When I hear teachers are broke, you are not a broke teacher. You are just not mastered the skill of making money. Most of us as teachers, we have the passion, the skill, and the knowledge, but we don't have the skill. We've not really mastered the skill of the business of teaching. I'm not teaching the business of teaching yet. I'm teaching how you become a thought leader. But of course, that's how you become a thought leader. You become a thought leader by building your personal brand in education. You amplify your impact. You can't be good and then you are in your house. How will I know? If I stay in the corner of my house here, nobody will know me. In fact, not most, all of my students right now that I'm teaching French are not in Nigeria. Most of them, I might never meet them. In fact, on one of my podcasts, because I host 3 podcasts, on one of my podcasts, I have to go and Google some countries because I'm wondering, where in the world is this country? Where is this person listening from? So you have to amplify your impact. And you can't amplify your impact when you stay in the classroom alone. You can't amplify your impact if all you have is your certificates, your first certificate, your BA. And so everybody have the BA. Some jobs that when they ask me that why should we employ you, I'll tell them because I've added like extra to my BA. I not only speak French fluently, I have a mastery of it. I'm a life coach. I've got for certification. I've done a lot of trainings. I have a mastery of digital. Hey, who want you? Who would not want to have me on their team? Who would not want to have me on their team? So as a teacher, you want to become a thought leader, you need to build a personal brand and you stay up in the industry. You can't be in a group where is education or they're talking school and all of that, and you just keep quiet. I have a group on Facebook that is almost 8,000, and then we only know few people that keep showing up. And so when there's an opportunity, it's those few people that will come. So you have to amplify your impact. A strong personal brand will allow you to expand your reach and influence, enabling you to inspire and educate people in a wider range. With my podcast currently, my just search for it, Easy French with Medinat or the Profitable Teacher podcast. And then I have another one that is French also. I mean, when you search for this podcast, you will see that it's as if so one of my coaches said, Coach, you're everywhere. Yeah, I'm everywhere like MTN. And that is the way it is. If I don't tell you what I do, how will you know what I do? If I don't amplify myself, see, nobody will promote you for you. You are the best marketer of what you do, what you have. If I tell you I'm the number one profitable teacher in Africa, take it. That's what I decided to call myself. Call your own. So you have to amplify your impact. Next to that is you have to attract opportunity. When you build a personal brand, you will attract opportunity. That award of the like that award is one of my favorites. The Modupe Adetunji Elizabeth Award. That's one of my favorites so far. So far. And the reason is I was not there when they announced the awards. One of my followers nominated me, and he started the campaign as if the brand was his own. And then I began to see people, somebody has tagged you, somebody has mentioned you, somebody has tagged you, somebody has mentioned you. And I was wondering what's going on. And then he came to me and said, Coach, you have to win this award. You have to win this award. I'm like, okay, so what's it about? So let's go. And then because it was an open award, so there were a lot of participants. And even me, when I was other participants, I've told myself, I told the guys, say, see, let's just leave this thing at this. And they did the first screening and they were left with the 9. They picked the top 9. I was still there. And they picked the top 6. I was still there. They picked the top 3. I was still there. I told him, I said, see, this top 3, it has due. Let's keep it, let's leave it like that. He said, no, you deserve it, you win it. When I checked the profile of other people, I told myself, hey girl, just you are fine with this top 3, or add it to your portfolio, it's good to go. And then he took it upon him. And then everybody, he distributed it almost across all his platform. And before you know it, I mean, I emerged the winner. So when you build your personal brand as a teacher, you attract many opportunities. I can't tell you how many opportunities I've had. In fact, this year I'm getting more of speaking engagement, and I'm even turning down some because of other assignments that I have, other personal reasons, But this is me. I'm a teacher. If I didn't come out and show up myself that my name is Medina or a daily brand, nobody will know I exist. Nobody will know the capacity that I carry. So building a personal brand as a teacher on your way to becoming a thought leader will help you attract massive opportunity. I've spoken on platforms in Canada and US. I mean, and the list is endless. And this is not just to me. Anybody can access this. Anybody can become this. Another thing that building your personal brand will do for you in becoming a thought leader is to help you stand out from the crowd. I'm a French teacher, yes, but I've coached other French teachers in building their personal brand. I'm a teacher, yes, but I stand out in my industry, in my niche. See, the sky is big enough for all of us to fly. If not for partnership and then collaboration, Coach Latif and I will not be here today. We won't be here today. We've never met. Okay, yeah, we've met once. I think we've met once. We actually met online first before we even got to know each other. And so if you don't become intentional by building a personal brand, you will not attract the right thing. You will not stand out. You just be part of the numbers that, I mean, you just become part of the numbers of teachers that they say teachers are broke and their reward is in heaven. How can my reward be in heaven when there is money here? Do they spend money in heaven? Money is not spent in heaven now, so my reward has to be here. My reward is in heaven, yes, but I need to start paying some bills here. I can't step out and you know whether I'm a teacher or not. In fact, there was a day a parent saw me. I was, there was sun. We're just closing from school, and then there was sun. I had my sunshades on, and then I had my phone, and then of course she's like, "You don't look like a teacher." I'm like, "So how how was I supposed to look? How am I supposed to look because I'm a teacher?" Don't give people that opportunity to actually cage you. into the way they think a teacher should look. And you can only do that if you decide to go the extra mile by building a personal brand for yourself. Another strategy you can actually use to become a thought leader and move from what people call ordinary teacher is to identify your unique teaching expertise. Like I said earlier, my strength is French anytime, any day. And I can teach for like teach for Africa, like like my son would say. I teach in different capacity, and I teach from place of experience. I teach from place of knowledge. I teach from I know what I'm saying. I'm not just blabbing. When I was in the University of Ibadan, someone was because of my dominant personality, sanguine, and they say one of our weaknesses is that we talk too much. And then somebody just opened wide and say you talk too much. And I pick it up and I say, okay, so what can I do not to talk too much? And I discovered that I'm not meant to actually silence my voice. I'm actually meant to refine the voice. And then I refine from being a talkative to a public speaking. And so I went for training. I read this book, While You Act the Way You Do, and I did other things to actually refine myself. That is because I'm able to actually identify the areas where I excel, areas where I have my mastery on. Your own might be classroom management, your own might be curriculum development, your own might be student engagement, your own might be any other thing. In addition to the expertise that you have, I mean, the core mastery of your subject. So you have to identify your unique teaching expertise. Okay. Another thing you need to do is to analyze your teaching approach. Do you understand the unique method strategy that sets you apart? Or are you just teaching like for teaching's sake? One thing I did when I went for my life coaching training is that it helped me to identify the different type of learner that I will have in my class, the kind of method that will work for them, and I'm able to actually use that to help each student learn perfectly. So French is one language that many people find very difficult, and then you hear different adage of say or different saying French is one language that my parents don't speak and I'm being forced to speak it. No, never in my class. Never in my class. I've taught in some eyebrow schools in Lagos. I've taught in some eyebrow in Nigeria, in Lagos and Ogun State because of where I stay. And then I've never had my students complain that French is difficult. And that is because I use the different method involved in teaching. And that's because I know. That's because I know. If I don't know, there's no how I'm going to be able to impact in that capacity. So you probably will need to talk to Coach Latif about his expertise in Flip Classroom so that you can add that to your knowledge. Flip Classroom is an amazing way of actually enhancing your teaching and your expertise. The third one is to seek feedback from your colleagues and students. This is one aspect that I really love. When I started out as a French teacher, remember I said that I started out as a French teacher, and then one day I put out something about French classes and somebody wanted to pay. And she said, do you issue certificates? And I said, yes. And then she asked another question. She said, is your company registered? And as at that time, my brand was not even registered. So I couldn't categorically say yes. And instead of seeing that as an insult, I actually picked it up and I started the registration of my company. And so I've registered the teachers from Academy and then registered EasyLang. And another one that I remember vividly is when I started out into teaching, because when I finished from university, I didn't want to become a teacher because of the remuneration. And then, well, somehow, now teaching is like a saving grace. So I went into a school and I was asked to do a teaching, and I did. And the consultant said, "You're very good, you're experienced, but you're not a qualified teacher," because I didn't have the certification. Because one thing with all the big schools is that they will not lower their standard because when they come in for evaluation, they may be paying very, very expensive for employing under qualified teacher according to the dictate of Nigerian law in education when it has to do with you getting your necessary certifications. So to your certificates, hard certifications, to your certificates, hard trainings, hard skills, hard like you're doing right now, you're adding extra. You can actually add this to your CV. And then if somebody is asking, oh, where did this? I mean, just copy the link on YouTube and then give it to them. So you need to seek feedback, and when you seek feedback, please be open to feedback. I understand that there are critics, okay, that don't know how to kind of give feedback. They only see the bad aspect of what you do, but you are the one that will learn how to see those things and then make the most of it. Another thing is to leverage the social media to amplify your voice. I cannot overemphasize this. In fact, I feel this one alone I can talk for 2 hours. Leveraging the social media to amplify your voice. Right now, if you go to your social media, if I was to go to your social media platform, all the platforms that you are in, or let's say we pick two, do we have the same message across board? Or somebody is tagging you with 99 other person that you don't even know anything about? What does your social media presence look like? Do you understand that we have what we call digital footprint? That is why you will never see me in some posts. You'll never see me, no matter how trending that topic is. If it's not relevant to me, you'll never see me there, because when I eventually tag a post there or comment, somebody else that is my friend will see that I've commented, and then they will go and check. And what I'm doing is I'm leaving digital footprint. Has it ever happened to you where you're thinking of, oh, let me get this iPhone right now? And then before you know it, you just open your Facebook or your Google, and then the advert is what is coming is iPhone 15. That is because algorithm is conscious of what you're saying. So you're leaving a digital footprint that will you be happy to see that digital footprint in the next 20, 30 years? I got yeah, I can say it. I got a scholarship recently, and then one of the things they did was to actually check up, because in a section of the form you have to put your social media links, and then I'm so sure, I am so sure, like I am 80 to 90% sure that they've checked my social media presence. They've checked it, because even when I won that Modupe Adetunji award, I was told that, we see what you do, we love what you do. How do you see what I do? How do you love what I do if you have not seen me? It's because they've checked me out. So you also have to be conscious of the fact that people are watching you. People are watching you. So you need to establish a presence, choose the right social media platform to build an active presence and connect with your target audience. You cannot be everywhere, especially when you're just starting out as a personal brand. You can't be everywhere. And the reason is that it can be overwhelming. It can be very, very overwhelming. Like I said earlier, Facebook is my primary platform, and then I think followed by LinkedIn. So choose one. If you have to choose one, become master of that particular one. You can diversify later, except you have resources to actually bring in a virtual assistant that will help you manage your social media platform. Otherwise, just choose one and gain mastery of it. Gain mastery of that platform and build a presence. Let the world know that you are here. Let the world know that Tosin Ojatunwase is here. Let the world know that Abdulatif Adedeji is here. Let the world know that Kemi Mesioke is here. Let the world know that you are here, Olaoluwa. Let the world know that your presence is here. Oh my God. I'm trying to get that move further business. I mean, Balogun, Abisola, let the world know that you are here. Don't just show up. Don't just follow other people to like their posts. Don't you want your own name to be mentioned? Don't you want your name to open doors? Don't you want your name to begin to bring you money? I mean, I don't go to speak right now for free, except there are terms and conditions for me going out to speak, either virtually or physical. I mean, Coach Latif is just my personal person. There was some discussion behind the scene that just said, you know what? Aside the money that we want to make, we are trying to build impact, and one of the ways to build impact is to actually give out for free, especially when you're just starting out, and then along the line. But hey, as time goes on, you begin to build so much that somebody will say, I know Ijeoma, she is so talented. Somebody will say, I know AT Group, it's so talented. So you want to build a personal brand such that you become a force and a thought leader to be recognized and to be associated with. Another thing you need to do when it comes to leveraging your online space to amplify, shout, make noise about your voice is to create engaging content. Don't do copy and paste. If you go to your social media platform right now, Is it all the content we have there? Are there content that you just share? You see somewhere, you just share, you just share, you just share. I don't have anything against sharing. If you check my platform, you see that I share valuable stuff. But 80 to 90% of the content there are mine. And they are intentional so that you can understand that what I'm doing is what I'm doing. If I go to Amina and Asimiu's platform right now, will I see what she stands for? Or is it just going to be all about religious platforms? I don't have anything against all of those things, but you need to understand that if you don't shout, if you don't make noise, nobody is going to know you're here. When you hear I saw and I conquer, I didn't hear you. If I go to your platform right now, is your platform speaking the value that you want? Is it the same brand that you're trying to project? I hope it's not going to be like, that's not what I mean now. Why are these people understanding this? And the reason is that if you're creating a content that is contradicting what you stand for, when you stand for you to sell, nobody is going to buy because they are confused. They don't know what you stand for. They don't know what you stand for. They don't know what you stand for. So you need to develop a content strategy that showcases your expertise. So when you see me coming up online, it's either I'm celebrating someone, I'm talking about friendship, I'm talking about education. I'm not talking about 5 things. If I talk about 5 things that I've eaten this week, it's going to be in my story, and that is just going to be for fun. I don't want an ECOWAS board of directors to come to my social media platform in the next 5, 10 years, and all they are seeing is food, 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 or me insulting somebody or dragging somebody. That's why I don't join people to drag. I don't drag anybody. I'm only dragging myself to my purpose. Let the dragging continue because everybody will be fine last. So create engaging content, use video, use text, use pictures, use audios, do different things because your audience you're serving, you have the audio visuals, you have the visuals, you have the kinetics, you have those that like text and all of that. So you need to understand the different type of content that you have and then create content around that to actually experience to expand your expertise and tell people that you are here and that you have come to stay and they need to know you because with content you are able to build the know, like and trust factor. Like I mentioned earlier, most of my students are not in Nigeria. And then if they are not in Nigeria, it means that they've seen something somewhere and then they've liked my content above every other person that is teaching French. And then they've come to the point of trusting me enough to give me their money. And let me shock you, in fact, not most of all my classes, both my trainings and my friend classes, you pay before the class. And so for somebody to trust you enough with their money before the class even starts, before they even know what what value they are going to get, then something had happened behind the scene. And what has happened behind the scene is that known trust like factor that I've built over the years. So use your content well. Use your content well. I know we are in a group. I might send in, or I don't know. I have a 30-day content calendar that I can share with anybody that is interested. If that would be a good guide for you to start out. But you need to be intentional about the content that you put out there from today. If you go to your social media platform right now, are you tagging? Have you enabled anybody to just tag you on 99 something that does not concern you? One day I woke up and somebody had tagged me on a real estate something that is not even relevant to me. I know I'm partially into real estate, but it's not even part of my brand. It's not the brand I'm working with. So why will you tag me with 99 others? It's so irrelevant. And it's not their fault. It's you that have given them the permission because you did not off the tagging, that tagging button in especially on your Facebook. Please don't allow anybody to just tag you on anything that is so irrelevant to your brand. Because either you like it or not, people are coming to your platform on a daily basis. For my cover page, I paid a graphic guy to do the cover page for me because that is my own office. When you come there, I'm not there to start explaining to you, my name is Medina Atoyedele, and this is what. No. It's my platform my platform that you are in. That's where you begin to scroll through, and then you begin to see what I stand for. Another thing to do to amplify your voice or shout and make noise and let people know that you're here is to collaborate with influencers. And let me put the caveat here. The influencers does not necessarily have to be the one that has 1 million followers. An influencer is somebody that can actually influence the decision of the audience. I can influence the decision of my audience. I've seen that over time. I've seen that over time where I say, okay, there was a time where there was a case of child molestation, and then I took it up and then I posted it on my platform. And before I posted it on my platform, before you know it, I began to get calls and tagging and recommendation from people that will actually help me solve that case. I will solve that case and we're able to get justice for that little girl. So you need to collaborate with others, collaborate with influencers, get people that already have a bearing to actually talk about you. But if I want to talk about what you do, I need to see whether what you do is valuable. The reason why I decided to come on board with Coach Latif is because I see that what he does is very valuable and is relevant to my core. So if I come to your platform, you invite me to come and speak, either I decide to get paid or not, I have to see something. If I'm not seeing that thing, forget it. I've declined so many opportunities, and I don't really feel like I don't feel like I don't feel like so I'm missing out anything, because you have not given me the reason to actually collaborate with you. So you have to be intentional about the people you collaborate with. Another strategy you can use is to create engaging content to attract your audience. First, we know that you're in education, okay? Except when you're watching, if you're watching right now, you're catching the replay, you are not in education. And find your niche, determine the specific topic and area of expertise that you want to focus on in establishing your leadership. You don't want to be everywhere at the same time. My own is very clear. I'm a French language coach and personal development coach for educators or knowledge-based entrepreneurs. I'm very, very clear. I'm not everywhere at the same time, because as a multifaceted person, it's possible to want to be everywhere at the same time, and then you'll be missing out on the core of what your leadership should be about. Another point is to develop a content plan, which okay, I already mentioned that. Somebody said I need it. I'll give it to Coach Latif. If you need a 30-day content calendar, I'll give it to Coach Latif. It will give you, to help you start out and stay consistent. And when I say consistent, it doesn't mean that you post, if you can post 30 days, that's fine. If it's just going to be once a week, let that once a week be once a week. If it's going to be twice a week, let it be twice a week, and show up with the same message. Don't talk about politics today. You talk about food tomorrow, and then you're talking about clothing, and you're talking about this, and you're talking about that. And I come to your platform, and I'm wondering, what does this person stand for? And so, what area do you want to become a thought leader in? You need to be very, very specific. Determine the topic that interests you. For me, personal development is my core. Like language teaching and personal is my core. And then the last part on this slide is to leverage the evergreen content. Again, because I don't want to stay too much on this, I'm going to send that content calendar. And then this slide also is available for you if you like to have it at the end of my time. Oh, so I'm running up, and then this is collaborating with industry leaders and then with other influencers. I've mentioned this earlier. When it has to do with influencers, don't overthink it. It's not only those that have 1,000,001 followers. If you are able to talk to somebody and they are able to take a decision because you said it, then you are an influencer. Collaborate, network, co-create, come together with somebody that is into something similar with what you do. I love the Igbos for this. If they are selling a phone, you have the spare part, the person that is selling the part of the phone beside them, and then before you know it, they are making money together. Another thing is mentorship. Find mentorship. It can be paid. Please, you can't get value for free. Yes, you will get value, but there is this type of value that you get that is premium, and it doesn't come for free. I've paid for 150,000 naira coaching that is just maybe 3 section or 6 section. I don't mind, and it has given me my money back to back. I've made my money back to back. So when I need it, I go for it. Mentorship. You can serve people for mentorship. You can volunteer, and then when you volunteer, before you know it, you're developing those skills and you're building those networks, and then you are growing alongside, and you're actually getting clearer on your purpose. Now, to position yourself as an expert in this area we're talking about, you need to showcase your expertise. If I don't know what you do, there's no angle to call you for what you do. If Coach Latif didn't know that I do this, he would not call me when he was thinking of speakers. And so because he has seen me over the years, he know what I do, I've stayed consistent with what I do, he's able to call me because I've actually amplified myself. I've innovated. I've not stayed. The way technology is going, I'm just rolling alongside with it. You cannot catch me unaware. It's not possible. Generative AI, we are there. We will go together. This trend, we are following it. No, when they tell you that AI is going to take your job, it's going to take the job of the teachers or the people that don't innovate. If you innovate, no AI is taking my job. I'm a translator and I use some tools to translate. I can tell you that the human factor in translating is still the best. When I do translation job, I ask people that, okay, so I mean, you want me to translate, do you want a human proofreading or do you want machine proofreading? There's always a difference. There's a difference. Don't let us deceive ourselves. So AI cannot take my own job. If AI is not going to take your job, you have to stay on top of your game. If you put prompt on, let's say ChatGPT, for example, it is the creativity of what you have in mind that ChatGPT is going to produce. If you just give ChatGPT, give you a content calendar, it will just give you generic content calendar. But if you specify, and it's still based on what you have, it's going to give you a more specific and more engaging content calendar if you want. So, I mean, leverage this and don't be left behind. You have to also leverage speaking opportunities. I have had opportunity to speak in places where I take my books along. So if I'm not being paid, like then let's have an agreement that you sell my books. And then, I mean, opportunities, massive opportunities. As a TEDx trained speaker, I've also had those opportunities just because I've stayed relevant. And now, publish your thought-provoking content. I have few minutes left. Publish your thought-provoking content in terms of content, but I would say that publish a book. Who else should even write a book if not a teacher? You should be the person. That's why to my name right now, I have over 20 books. Even though I think I've only published like 7 of them, but I have over 20. I have like 30 books. I have flashcards, I have, journals, workbooks, and all of that. You should be the one creating and publishing books. You should be the one publishing books. Okay. Lastly, I will end with this. I'll send this slide across because I think I've overshot my time. You can, from your teaching, okay, from your teaching, after you've built your brand so much and so well, and then you can turn it into a lucrative opportunity, consulting services for people. You can create online courses. I have online courses in French and in personal development for teachers. Speaking engagement, like what I'm doing right now. Like I said earlier, if I'm not being paid, you have to let me know how else you pay me if not direct cash. So speaking engagement, then you can publish your book. I'm so keen on this. Please go and publish a book. Go and publish a book, even if it's a 30 pages book. Go and publish a book. You can have all this knowledge and go to the grave with it. When people say the most lucrative place in the world is the grave, don't join the crowd. Don't join the crowd. Make up your mind that the world is going to hear about you. So currently I have book on French, on personal development, emotional intelligence, raising a hyperactive child. I have books on almost any topic that interests me. I don't want to go with anything. So make up your mind. So, and one thing that book writing will do for you is to just set you apart as a thought leader. When I tell people I've written 20 books, someone say, hey, when I've not even started. So please, all of us right now on this call, even those who will be catching the replay, can actually write a book. And of course, I will end with saying that to sustain your thought leadership, you need to continually learn. There is an adage that says in my place that the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. The day you tell yourself, this is the way we do it. Don't talk about this technology thing. I don't understand. What are people even explaining? That's the day you just start staying still. And before you know it, you'll be stinking in knowledge. Okay? Another thing is you need to be flexible. Be adaptable, like be flexible. This is where we do it, yes, but now technology AI has come, generative whatever is here, this is here, learn it. And last but not the least, because teaching is not one of those jobs that everybody pray to enter into, you need to develop a can, do, and never die experience. Personality that I can do it. I'm powerful. I'm here and I'm here to stay. It doesn't matter your salary. It can be very challenging as a teacher trying to build a personal brand and of course trying to become a thought leader because sometimes it's as if you're not trying to explain yourself extra. But hey, we are here and we're here to stay. Remember that if you don't amplify your voice, nobody will. And remember, please, if you don't take anything away from everything I've said today, go and write a book. It will set you apart as a thought leader, remove you from the crowd, and you become that voice. And the world will celebrate you for it. Thank you so much for having me. It's a great pleasure doing this with you. Coach
Wow,
Latif.
this is so great. Thank you so much. Like the conversation is really on fire. I'm really glad and grateful for the amazing and for the load of value that you share. Please, I want you to please appreciate. And there's actually a question here. That Miss Tao, I don't get it. She posted here. Let me try and look for the question about freelancing. So just like if you can just speak to this in a
Okay.
bit.
About freelancing is it depends what you do, but Fiverr is a great place to get to post your job or your expertise. There are ways around it, but you can find a way to. People are there, Nigerians are there, though there are a lot of limitations with us as Nigeria, But hey, we are breaking barriers. All these things they are doable. People are doing it. There are ways to do it. If you want, I have friends that are into it. But you can check Fiverr. Say what platform to use to get freelancing job. See, my biggest platform is my Facebook page. My Facebook page is like my own lead. My office, is my lead, is my email, whatever. Everything I've achieved so far is on Facebook. If you continually show up on one of those platforms that you decide you have, and you decide to make up, like I'm going to show up, you will begin to have clients from that particular platform. But either way, another thing I might do is to just send you a list of those platforms. There are many of them that accommodate Nigerians leaders. Okay, would you advise me to resign my teaching job in order to have an oh la la? Please have a plan before you exit. Have a plan before you exit. This my exit that I did this year. I had the plan since last year. Okay, if you cannot comfortably save your 6 month salary somewhere, please don't resign now. You can be building your brand by the side while you plan the exit. Don't exit suddenly. If you exit suddenly, it can be very, very traumatic, because if what you are actually projecting does not work out, you won't have anything to fall back on. So what I did is to have savings. Okay, I've been building this brand for a while now. So my two brands are doing quite reasonably well, Easy Lang and the Teachers Reform Academy. And then I have my own personal brand that I've been building. And so I've studied the terrain. I discovered that even if I don't work for the next 6 months, I have enough inflow of cash here and there. My books, my courses, my one-on-one coaching. Like I said, I just came on off a coaching call this morning with somebody that's going to go on a one-on-one. A one-on-one is not cheap. Before somebody can pay you for that one-on-one, they've seen something, and so you need to first of all learn to build that thing. Be consistent on your platform for the next 3 months, and then from there you can now look at what is the exit plan that I have for me. Thank you. Oh, thank
Wow,
you. Somebody say nice up. I love you. Mwah.
wow, thank you. This is so amazing. Thank you so much
Can
for
I
the
get
massive
your
value.
social media
I can,
and
yeah, it's Medina
my name is
Zoidele
Medina
everywhere.
Toyedele. Okay, Medina Toyedele on Facebook, Medina Toyedele on LinkedIn. My podcast is Easy French with Medina. That is Easy French with Medina on Instagram. On X is Medina Toyedele. Just type Medina Toyedele on Google. You see me like this. I'll just appear.
Yes, yes. And when you mentioned it the other time, I actually check it out. And trust me,
Oh,
it's let me see, do I still have it here? Or let me even show
yeah.
you. Because it's part of being a thought
Oh,
leader. And this is something I do
okay.
almost every day now. I intentionally search my name on Google.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
let me and one thing that comes to my mind, and I want to give you guys, I just want to give you this thing. I want to give you this. Check out original. This expo now is that I am almost every day I train Google to know my name, because when I first started out and I first learned, I remember it was 2021 and I was attending a training, and VC Edwin Edewa was like, okay, everybody should go to YouTube, so Google and search for their name. And whenever I search for my name, one person always disturb my life. That is Abdulatif Adedimeji. And because he's a movie star,
Ah,
he has
okay, is it
all these
popular?
pictures.
Yeah,
Yes, he's
yeah.
very popular. So when I search the
Mhm.
name, Google will be asking me, "Do you mean Abdulatif Adedimeji?" I'll be like, "No, my name is Adedeji." So, but then, as normal by as a result of growth, is that having more and more presence on Google. So now, if I search my name now, it's going to bring my name out. But then I don't
The way
stop
you
there.
want
I intentionally train Google that okay, yes, you have to
it.
know that there is someone's name that is bearing this. So I just
Yes.
want to show you evidence of what she's saying. Okay, let me share my screen so that you can know. You can see that it is not. We are not playing here.
Yeah,
So
not.
please try
Yeah,
as
not.
much as you can. I hope you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So I just search Medina Oyedele and see what it brings out. LinkedIn, freelance interpreter, and see this about here. Medina Oyedele is a certified life coach, French language expert, bilingual global speaker, capacity builder, bilingual podcaster, and bilingual author of our book. So just see that. So you
Exciting.
just search a name on Google and you just search someone's name on Google and just say all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Will you have any doubt again of okay whether I can pay this money person 6 figures or even 7 figures?
Yeah.
Can you see
Mm-hmm.
everything? This is the award she's talking about the other time. I think I saw it when I checked it the other time. There is one
Do
award.
you know? I didn't even know that. I didn't for that award. I didn't even know that newspapers carried it to that point. I know there were media
Guys,
presence.
so
Yeah, I
this
was
is
giving
it.
the award. I mean, and
Wow.
it's just it's there for everybody. See this Colorado paint. When I
This
did
is
the job, I didn't know that the company was that big. It was a day
wow.
I was training one of my students. I said, "Oh, if you Google my name right now," and I just Google and I'm seeing Colorado Paint, and Colorado Paint is a big company. It's a
Wow.
big one. And so most time you
Let's see.
don't know how big you that little step you want to take is if you don't take it.
Let's see our videos on YouTube. So this is just we're doing this just to show you. And when it comes to becoming a thought leader, this is something that is very possible. This is something that a lot of people have done. And this part of what it means to be a thought leader. Just mention anybody you know today, anybody do. When you talk about a thought leader, it means someone that leads influence what people say based on their own experience and expertise. So, is there anybody that you know today that you can mention and you find their name on Google and you not say it? It's not possible. You will always see their name on Google. Okay, so that's it. So, also, it's not late. Start building. Just showing you this so that you can know that it's possible. I don't know. Is this a question here? Yeah, coach with
Um,
evidence. Sure. Co- co- Thank you,
Coach
Mr.
with
Victor.
evidence.
He
Okay,
said,
I'll add that to my title.
wow. Let me wait this out. I wrote a book in 2016, but I'm yet to publish due to some challenges. I'm very sorry and stop to him for the thoughts provoking presentation ideas. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Adewale. So please
Okay,
just
what
go
are
ahead
the
and now publish
challenges?
that. Yeah, what
Well,
are the
what are the
challenges?
challenges? Please seek help if you need the help. If
Yes,
nothing else, I can do 50% off my book, whatever, to help you get it out. My son has published his third book. It's out. He did his birthday is today, like Coach Latif, and then
but
the
I
third book
forgot to
is
mention that. Like I said, I just saw it on TV. I feel like I'm going to mention
yeah,
that.
and
Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
Mr.
at age
Come.
seven, at age seven, he published
Yes,
the
I saw
first
it.
book. He's nine. Yeah, he has three books already. I
Wow.
mean, you should have. If you need to seek help because most time you will not get that premium you're looking for free. But we
Yes,
can
you want.
do we kind of price, and then you get somebody. You need somebody. Sometimes you need a coach to push you out there. So please let's know. Let me know if it's something I can do for you for free. If it's an help I can render, fine. If you're gonna need you to pay some, but publish it because the world needs to read that book. Since
Very, very
2016,
important. 2016. That's 8 years. Wow.
that's a
Wow.
whole lot.
So please get the book published. You can reach out to me, or you can check her out on Facebook. You can reach out to her.
Thank you.
Make sure you connect with us so that you can get the help you need. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much. And we have come to the end of the day two of the boot camp. Thank you so much for being here to this moment. Thank you so much, Mrs. Oyedele, for all the time, for sharing from your word of knowledge. It's really amazing. It's empowering for us. It's transformative for us. Please, let's. I know we have done it before, let's do it again. Let's appreciate Mrs. Medina before she go. Thank you so very much. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. I really appreciate, ma. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you,
you
ma.
for having me. It's a privilege.
Thank you so much, ma. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. So we have now come to the end of the day two of the Progressive Educators Bootcamp. Let me know, how is it for you? How is the bootcamp going for you? Yeah, already. How is it going for you? How is it going for you? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Are you getting value from this? Is this really something? Are you learning a lot from this? Is this meeting your expectations so far? Are you getting? Are you being transformed? Are you learning things that is going to, or propel you to the next level of your teaching career? Okay, so let me know. I want to have your feedback, and don't worry, don't just drop the feedback here, but also go to the WhatsApp group and drop your feedback. And I just also want to remind you that this bootcamp is a birthday gift from me to all the teachers. Okay, but then I've dropped my second birthday gift on the group, and that is, I have a course called the Flip Like an Expert course. So it's a course where you're going to learn everything you need to know about effectively implementing the flipped classroom. So the course would originally go for 5,000 naira, but because of my birthday today, I'm actually giving you 50% massive discount. So if you have been aiming, or if you honestly desire to learn about the flipped classroom, you want to know how it works and you want to be able to implement it, just make sure you take advantage of the opportunity and get access the to the course at just 2,500. I've dropped the details in the group. Check it out. Make payment is not for everybody. It's just for those that are really really interested. So please, if you know you're not going to put in the work, implement what you're going to be learning, please don't bother making the payment. This is just for those that are ready to do the work. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for all your feedback. Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Kemi. Thank you so much. I want to really appreciate. Like, I wake up today. Imagine waking up today before I even go and pray, and I saw that poem, and I was just reading. I was just laughing. I was just smiling. Like, thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. I see all of your comments. I see all your prayers in the group. I see all your wishes in the group. Thank you so much. And have a great day ahead. Have a great day ahead. Thank you so much for being part of this. Remember, we continue tomorrow. Anchoring this session. We're going to have having two twins. Sorry, there are twins already. We're going to having twins. I personally love to refer to them as Alabi twins. Miss Koinde Alabi and Miss Taiwo Alabi. These ladies are doing fantastic. Wow, they're doing great job. Check them out on Facebook and LinkedIn. They're going to be here tomorrow to share their experience with you as a teacher. And we're going to be having other big, big, big speakers. We don't have, this is a well curated bootcamp. So all the topics are specially curated to empower you. Okay, so make sure you don't miss out. And then if you missed any of the part of the session today, the replay is going to be up on YouTube immediately we end the stream. So make sure you go through it, watch it, drop your comment, and please, and just remember now, if you have liked this the video so that more people can see it, and then if you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate it. Appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much. And have a great day ahead. And I'm going to see you tomorrow, and I'm going to see you in the group. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Bye bye.